Lord have mercy. We are less than 20% of the United States population. Less than 20% of the United States. But we account for 90% of all beauty purchases. Perm, weave, shea butter, cocoa butter, almond butter, peppermint butter, deodorant, weave perm, wave caps, slick back. And so now you account for 90% of beauty purchases in America. You are a disgrace. You are a disgrace. And you want to criticize me for building a school for our children. You are a disgrace.
Now, we're also going to teach your children dietary and nutritional science. I want our children to be masters of healing the body without no pharmaceuticals from the drugstore. I want that little boy back there, if mommy not feeling well, he can go out to the yard, get some herbs, boil it, put a little honey in it, little cayenne pepper, and knock mommy flu right on out. I want them to be able to heal diabetes. 10 years old, and they know how to heal diabetes. That's what I want in my school. That's what we working towards. So far, we raised $250,000. I'm gracious, but I'm not content, because I know y'all got a lot more to give me than some $250,000. And Dr. Umar Johnson is trying to build a state-of-the-art school for black boys that y'all all know I need. And after 6 months, I only got $250,000. Trifling ass black people. I'm gonna call it like I say it. And I don't care if you get offended. We can handle that outside. We trifling. I should have been had that $2 million. I should have had that $2 million 30 days after I started the fundraiser on May the 20th. It don't make no sense. But y'all sure call me up when the school's messing with your son. Did you make a donation to my school? Oh, not yet. Bye. Click.
Donations. 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 Look how much black people love me. Look how much black people love me. $25 gift certificate, $25 Red Lobster gift certificate.
Lord have mercy. They wear the Louis socks. If Little Kim get her a Gucci bag, then all you rat, lazy Negroes gonna go and do what the celebrities do. The blind is leading the blind.
This is my Prada cologne that was sent to me for my birthday last year. I got this in the mail from a supporter for my birthday, and I kept it. I only wear it for special occasions because it was anonymous birthday gift. A beautiful sister sent me this. Ladies, I want my birthday gifts August 21st. Don't forget. Ladies, I want my birthday gifts August 21st. Don't forget. Ladies, I want my birthday gifts August 21st. Don't forget.
Trifling ass black people.
The Prince of Pan Africanism is back. Showing love to all my donors and supporters.
Lord have mercy. I know the conscious community got y'all lazy. Or they running around this intellectually masturbating old ass information. Like Papa Smurf. That Papa Smurf shit ain't gonna get us nowhere. That Papa Smurf shit ain't gonna get us nowhere. You feel me? Hold on. Yeah.
Sí, señor, ¿cómo está?
Nah, I got this. I got this.
Hello? 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 FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG, it's coming. 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 FDMG is coming, thought his personality be twerking, it's twerking.
Thank you so much for tuning on in. I appreciate y'all's presence. Let me just fix this just a little bit here. There we go. Yeah, by the way, I just noticed tomorrow will be Umar's birthday. So I'm not going to say I'm going to wish him a happy birthday. I just hope that he has a good day. You know, I don't have any animosity towards the guy. I just think he's backwards and he's caused a lot of harm to the Black community. He's lied a lot. He's scammed millions of dollars from Black people, and on and on and on. But I don't wish him any harm. I just know that karma is undefeated, and one way or the other, karma is always it's going to be served. In point of fact, I think his life where he's at right now, he's about to be 52. Yeah, he's about to be 52 this year, tomorrow. And just to see where his life is at, I think that that's part of the karma too. You know, it's no one's exempt. If you live a lifestyle where you're predatory and you're scamming, you're out here exploiting the Black community, you're exploiting Black women, you're lying to people. You know, he lies so much, it's incredible. He's still lying about being related to Frederick Douglass. That's crazy. His dad, back in 2018, Jamal admitted that they weren't related to Frederick Douglass. He took a DNA test, and Umar still runs with the lie to this day. And he knows that he's not related. But if you do all these types of things and a whole host of other things, it catches up with you. And no matter what, you have to pay a price. And there's going to be positive and negatives that come out of all of this. And I think for Umar, where he's at in his life, being homeless at the age of 50, he's about to be 52, living with his mother in Section 8 housing. That I think that's part of the karma. And there's all kinds of things he could be doing where he wouldn't have to be living like that. I've been referencing how he has over 1 million followers on Instagram. I don't know how many people he has following him on Facebook, but he could be making legitimate money on social media. Okay, I'm talking $150,000, $200,000 and just scale it up over time. Who knows how high he could get, but he would have to do something different. And it's unfortunate that tomorrow's his birthday, and in point of fact, if any of y'all has been around a long time, Umar's situation is a lot worse now than it's ever been. You know, and that's the thing about life. If you see your life progressing, then you know you're on the right track. You know, but if you see your life deteriorating consistently and you keep doing the same thing, well, then that's obviously something needs to change. But with Umar, he's so used to just having people lying to people and then people sending him money for a school that does not exist. That's his main source of income. What we're going to do today, by the way, is we're going to start the series dealing with Umar over in Jamaica. But I want to give you guys a couple of videos. There's 2 short videos where Umar is talking about one thing is he talks about Dafa, the descendants of American freedmen in America. And this is where he delineates between immigrants. And then I want to play the video where he first brings up this lie about this Jamaican immigrant who's sabotaging the certificate of occupancy at FDMG. Okay, these are lies. But isn't it interesting that just a few months ago he comes up with that lie, but then now but then over the last couple of days ago, he's over in Jamaica. Okay, so that's how we're going to connect all of this together. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning on in. I appreciate y'all's presence. I don't plan on live streaming tomorrow unless Umar does something crazy. Also, I posted a message on my community tab for members only. I had hoped to get together this week. I just ran out of time. I ran out of time, but I was able to get some research done and put together a timeline. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's wild. Okay, it is wild. But members only will get into the actual video for that. And I got another video where this individual was interviewed, and when we watch that, you guys will see something is not right with this guy. Just like something's not right with Cheyenne Bryant, and now there's something's not right with Umar. Okay. So people keep saying it's someone's birthday. Whose birthday is it today? Inside of the chat room. FA 5102. Okay, happy birthday to you. Okay, happy birthday to let me see if I got it right. FA 5102. I'll sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, FA 5102. Happy birthday to you. All right. Happy birthday to you. You so welcome. Yeah, you are so welcome. How's it going, God, little princess? Thanks for tuning on in. Cartier became a new member. Thank you so much. Yeah, we've been getting together for members like the last couple of weeks. But I just ran out of time this week. But I was able to compile a list of, let me see, where did I put that, by the way? I was able to compile a list, and I put it on a timeline for Jaquel Pitts. And he's the individual who gave Cheyenne Bryant like an honorary degree. It's a big old mess. But anyway, based upon what I found from 2012 through 2026, Jaquel, he states that he's earned 26 degrees. There's 16 associates, 1 bachelor's, 1 master's, 1 postmaster's degree, and 7 PhDs. Okay, and then on top of that, there are 55 honors and awards, and then 106 licenses and certifications. Anyway, you members know what we're talking about here. We'll get into all of this next week. We got a lot to get into with that. Okay, let's get going here because I want to get through this, as much of this as possible. We won't get through all of it because there's a lot. Natasha said thumbs up. Thank you so much, Natasha. Thank you for the gift, the 10 jewels. I appreciate that. And then user 225 says, LenonHonor, ooh, I barely know her. Who are you talking about? What are you talking about? You already started. I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, thanks, user 225 for the super chat. And thanks, Cartier, for becoming a member. Okay, let's get going here. I want to pull up this first video. So we're going to go back in time, February 18th of 2025. This was when Umar first announced, based upon what I found. No, that's not right. I apologize. We're going to go back to February 21st of 2026. And this is where Umar first announces this organization is fictitious, that he calls DAFA. D. Will sends 1,000 jewels and says, great, a GOAT trophy. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And you guys are so gracious. And thanks, D. Will, for all of your support. You guys are fantastic. Let me go back in here. I got to get back into the actual chat room, the live here. Because whenever whenever people send in jewels, it's like these little graphics populate inside the chat room, but I'm usually not looking in the chat room, so I miss them. Okay, thanks D Will for the 1,000 jewels. Okay, all right. So let's get to this. So here's the first one, February 21st of 2026. Here we go.
To counteract the negative. So my movement to counteract the negativity of these movements we're discussing is going to be the DAFA movement. DAFA, descendants of African freedmen in America. Remember?
Okay. Now, this is contrary to Umar's whole stick about he's a Pan Africanist. Because Pan Africanism, it's supposed to be all inclusive. But what Umar's doing is he's saying he's making a delineation between African Americans or Black people here in the United States of America, and then immigrants, Black immigrants. And that could be Black immigrants from anywhere. And the thing is that what people didn't realize back in February 21st of 2026 is that what Umar's doing is he's setting up this narrative that he's going to tell later on, like a couple of months later on down the line. He's setting it up in advance. This is how diabolical Umar is, because what he's doing is he's trying to set up this narrative about DAFA and that this is some sort of a movement that and it's just, he just comes up with it out of the blue. It's a movement that he's participating in. It's just him. But then by doing this, he's trying to make a distinction between Black Americans or African Americans or Black people in the United States of America, and then immigrants. And then later on, a month later, what he does is he blames Black immigrants, and in particular, a Black immigrant from Jamaica, for why it is that he's not being allowed to get a certificate of occupancy for FDMG. So you see how diabolical this guy is? In all of my research with Umar, you never hear him talk about this DAFA thing. But in advance of telling this story, it's just another excuse why FDMG isn't progressing, because he's given literally hundreds, if not thousands of hundreds. It's hundreds of excuses since 2010 as to why FDMG isn't open. But you see how diabolical Umar is. He'll come up with a whole, I guess, a movement that he's part of out of thin air in preparation for throwing Black immigrants under the bus. And in this case, Jamaican immigrants, but then he goes over to Jamaica. Okay, that's how diabolical Umar is. All right. Okay, thanks again, Diwo. Samat sent in 80 joules and says, clock it. Okay, thank you. That's the young people be saying, clock it. They be going like this. I don't know what that means, but that's what they do. Some of them be doing two of them. Okay, anyway. Thank you, Samat, for the 80 joules. I appreciate it. Okay, okay, so let's get back to this. Here we go.
After freedom came, we were known as what? Freedmen. That was a legal classification. We were the freedmen. My 3 times great-grandfather George fought in the Civil War. My 4 times great-grandfather Steve fought in the Civil War. My cousins Lewis and Charles, the sons of Frederick.
See, that's all irrelevant, though. What does that have to do with anything? It has absolutely nothing to do with nothing. So I just want to play this just so you guys are clear about this, because he was talking about FBA, he was talking about ADOS, and excuse me if I get this wrong, FBA is Foundational Black Americans, and that was created by Tariq Nasheed, which Umar, he's so envious of Tariq, it's crazy. And then ADOS, that's African descendants of, no, wait a minute, ADOS, American descendants of slaves, if I got that right. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. And that was started by Yvette Carnell and Tone. I can't remember his full name right now. Tone Talks. I can't remember right now. That's been around a lot longer. But FBA, that's Tariq Nasheed. But what Umar is doing here is he's created out of the ethers this thing that he calls DAFA, which is descendants of African freedmen in America. Okay, but this is all setting something up that he's going to present later on down the line. It reminds me of when some of you guys remember this last year when Umar, he was doing this video. I think it was a fish tank video, and he said something to the effect that his bank accounts, that someone had stolen his. He was alluding to someone had stolen his bank account credentials, which means like his screen name or his username and password. And then he tried to insinuate that I was involved with that. You guys remember that? Okay. I have a degree in cybersecurity and computer technology. I wouldn't involve myself in anything like that. I wouldn't do that even without the degree. I wouldn't do that because I don't live my life like that. But for him to do that, it was really, really strange. He's a liar anyway. But what turns out, how this turns out is that later on that year, Umar he tells a story about how his bank accounts were frozen. And so it clicked in my mind that that's why he was telling the other lie. He was setting the lie that he was going to tell later on up by talking about how his credentials had been compromised, something to that effect, and that I was somehow involved. That's how shady Umar is. It's like extreme deviancy. He's criminal-minded in that way. So that's what he's doing here too with this introduction of DAFA. Okay, now Umar later on that year, this year, he gets onto Father David's podcast, and let's listen to what Umar says here. Check this out.
Lately, because we've been focusing on FDMG, just to give you an update on FDMG, Bobby David, and we spoke last time I was on the show that on the Honorable Frederick Douglass's 200th, not his 200th, like his 207th birthday now, February 14th, we completed everything, not only the renovations, but also the clean out of the school. And we just ready now to decorate the school, but we have to get our final building inspection and our certificate of occupancy. And just to keep the people aware of what's going on, the building inspector for our district, Bobby David, I don't think he's a Dr. Umar supporter at all. He is a black man.
See, he's making this up on the spot.
And he is the descendant of immigrants who came to the...
Okay, there it is right there. Now, let me take that back. It's not that he's making it up on the spot. What I'm saying is that he's already telegraphed this months in advance when he was talking about DAFA. because he's already set up the delineation between Black Americans, African Americans, which would be him, and in this case with Dafa, descendants of African freedmen in America. He's already set that dynamic up. But then months later, he brings up this particular lie where he's telling the story about this immigrant and how this immigrant is sabotaging FDMG in terms of the certificate of occupancy. Why am I looking like that? Anyway, okay, let me play that part again. Listen carefully. It just goes to show you how diabolical Umar is. I mean, you really have to be a shady person to think like that. You know, just to come up with lie after lie after lie. Here you go. Make sure you get your vote in on the poll question.
Walk through this for our district, Bobby David. I don't think.
Make sure you get your vote in on.
But also to clean out of the school. And we just ready now to decorate the school, but we have to get our final building inspection and our certificate of occupancy. And just to keep the people aware of what's going on, the building inspector for our district, Bobby David, I don't think he's a Dr. Umar supporter at all. He is a Black man. And he is the descendant of immigrants who came to this country.
See how he's saying descendant. Umar, he's diabolical, okay?
And I think that he is either he himself came to the country or he is the descendant of immigrants.
See, he don't even know because he's making it up. That's another thing to look out for with Umar. Like when he tells these lies, you'll listen and you can tell he doesn't quite know what he don't know. Like I said in the past, he doesn't have specificity, but later on he develops it more and more. He gets more comfortable telling the story. But right here, when he's telling it, you can tell he's trying to frame it in a particular way. He's thought about the lie that he's going to tell, but he hasn't recited it enough to be able to feel comfortable when he's reciting it. Does this make sense? So right here, if you listen to Umar, he's saying, yeah, he may either been basically he's saying he could be a first generation or he could have just gotten over here, in this case, from Jamaica, this immigrant. Okay, let's go.
Who came to this country respectfully. And he doesn't really care for me, to be honest with you. And I noticed just by his behavior over the 7 years that we've had the school.
So you've been dealing with this guy for 7 years? That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense. Why didn't you mention this 7 years ago then? Why didn't you mention this 6 years ago? How about 5 years? You see what I'm saying? 4 years ago. This is totally contrived. He's painting a false narrative. Umar, he's a pathological liar. It's crazy.
The last time I saw him was on March 10th. We did a walk through the building. He told me he would give me a phone call because my whole thing is where we are now. We're ready for our inspection and we're ready for our certificate of occupancy. He said he would get back to me. It's been almost a month. He has not gotten back.
Okay, that's not how the process works. I already did the research on that. That's not how the process works. You don't like call the inspector over and over again, or they call you. That's not how that works. What happens is there's a website, and I've already talked about this. You can go on there and you can schedule the inspection or inspections because it's not just one. That's how I know Umar's incompetent, because he's talking as if it's one inspection. It's not. It's a slew of inspections. I have the paperwork for it. So you go on the website and you can either schedule on the website. Okay, you just type in information about where, your location, your address, who you are. You would probably leave your phone number, email, and then there's a calendar, and you just pick a day that's available or a time on a given day that's available or that's convenient for you. That's it. It's that simple. Or there's a phone number on that website. Any of y'all have been to that website, hit the one. There's a phone number on the website. You can call you can call that phone number and schedule that way. It's that simple. But Umar tells a story as if it's this big convoluted thing, and for 7 years, and then now he hasn't called me back. That's not how that works. That's not his job to call Umar back. It's a very specific process. And I talked about this too. One of the reasons why anytime you're dealing with the city, things can time is a major issue, and handling business is a major issue because you have a limited amount of inspectors for a whole city. So they have to streamline everything. So can you imagine everyone who wants to try to schedule an appointment that they call this inspector, 50 people, 100 people during that month, and they're all trying to figure out scheduling? That's not how that works. It's ridiculous. No, you just go, you either call the number that's on the website, or you just schedule it on the website. But Umar, because he's a pathological liar, he has to create this whole other narrative, and then he throws black immigrants under the bus, which is something that Umar, historically speaking, he, as a so-called Pan Africanist, he's not supposed to do. See, but anything to lie, he'll throw immigrants under the bus, and he'll throw Jamaicans under the bus. Okay, check this out.
Back to me yet. This is not the first time I've asked them to get in contact with me. There's been times before where I've asked them to get in contact with me. Once I asked them to do a pre-walkthrough, this a couple years ago, I wanted him to do a pre-walkthrough, Baba, to tell us if there's anything he thinks we need to focus on. And
Okay, no, that's not their job. Their job is not to do pre-walkthroughs. What is he talking about? Umar always thinks that he's supposed to get some special dispensation because he's Big Papa. That's not their job. Their job is to schedule the inspection, and there's people that come out. It's not just the person Umar's talking about. That's all I know. He don't know what he's making this up. I can pull up the paperwork. There's different inspections. We covered all of this. So the story that Umar is telling, it doesn't even stand to reason. It's amazing how much this guy lies, and he does it so effortlessly. It's uncanny. Hold on one second.
An update on FDMG, Baba, David, and we spoke last time I was on the show that on the Honorable Frederick Douglass's 200th, not his 200th, like his 207th birthday now, February 14th, we completed everything, not only the renovations, but also the clean out of the school. And we just ready now to decorate the school, but we have to get our final building inspection and our certificate of occupancy, and just to keep the people aware of what's going on.
He's always
the building inspector for our district, Baba David. I don't think he's a Dr. Umar supporter at all. He is.
See how he says, "I don't think." Okay, listen to the language.
The black man, and he is the descendant of immigrants who came to this country, and I think that he is. Either he himself came to the country or he is the descendant of immigrants who came.
See, he don't even know because he's making it up.
To this country respectfully. And he doesn't really care for me.
Okay, what does that mean? What are you in a relationship? He took you out to dinner and didn't pay? I don't know. What are you talking about? You expected flowers and candy, chocolates? Umar acts like he went on a date with this guy. He doesn't particularly care for me, and he won't call me back.
Honest with you, and I noticed just by his behavior over the 7 years that we've had the school. The last time I saw him was on March 10th. We did a walk through the building. He told me he would give me a phone call because my whole thing is where we are now. We're ready for our inspection and we're ready for our certificate of occupancy. He said he would get back to me. It's been almost a month. He has not gotten back to me yet. This is not.
Again, that's not his job. Really, Umar should have hired a general contractor from day one. He should have already had the general contractor lined up, and that's their job. But anyway, let's keep going.
The first time I've asked them to get in contact with me. There's been times before where I've asked them to get in contact with me. Once I asked them to do a pre-walkthrough, this a couple years ago, I wanted him to do a pre-walkthrough, Baba, to tell us if there's anything he thinks we need to focus on. And he said he would get back to me, and he never did. And I have a whole list of things that he's done through the years that were.
And he treated me like this, and he said he was going to call me back. He did. I said, Umar, stop it. He said he was going to call me back. He didn't call me back. I can't believe it. He didn't send me any chocolates. All right.
Kind of, a little bit. That just kind of showed me that he wasn't particularly supportive or interested in helping us get our building inspection. So right now I have an attorney looking at the situation, how we should proceed, because we
okay, whatever happened with that? See?
Should have our certificate of occupancy. We should have already had our final building inspection, and it's being held up by the inspector of our district. And he's of Jamaican origin, and I love my...
See? Here he go. And I looked, I couldn't find any so-called Jamaican. I couldn't find it. I looked. I can call, but that's just beyond the scope. But you see how he's throwing Jamaican immigrants under the bus?
Jamaican Africans. Everybody know I love Jamaica. It's one of my favorite places to be in the world. I'm a very big deal in Jamaica. Jamaica is a very big deal to me. But unfortunately, I have a building inspector who is of Jamaican heritage who is...
See how he keeps saying it over and over again.
Does not show any signs whatsoever of being supportive of Dr. Umar in getting this final inspection and his certificate of occupancy. So that's what we're fighting now. The school is done. It's just sitting there, and we're trying to find out why this man hasn't contacted me to schedule a date to come in and do the inspection. But like I said, I have an attorney looking at it, and we'll see where it goes from here. But we're being held up from our building inspector, and I just hope and pray, Baba David, that this isn't another case of a black immigrant versus a black freedman, because I'm a Pan Africanist. I believe.
And there it is. See? But you see how he has to set all this up in advance. That's how diabolical Umar is. When he was on the Up There podcast months before, you see how he set that up. I played it for you guys. And then he drops it here on people. But see, if people don't know the history with Umar, they wouldn't put the pieces together. But it's very clear to me. It goes to show you just how conniving Umar is. And then out of all people, he's going to throw black immigrants and then specifically Jamaican immigrants. Marcus Garvey was from Jamaica. Umar wants to be Marcus Garvey so bad. Most of his life, he wanted to be Marcus Garvey. He's still lying about being related to Frederick Douglass. He ain't really related to Frederick Douglass. Anyway. Okay, so I wanted to set this up with those two videos because it kind of gives context when we get into Umar going over to Jamaica. Before we do that, Umar, he went live. I was going to save this for next week, but let's go ahead and do it now because we and it's short because he's at the beginning of it. Here, I'll put it up and I'll talk a little bit and then we'll skip through. At the beginning of it, he's heading to Cincinnati. Look what he has on his shirt. Marcus Garvey. Right. So I think he's probably at an airport or something like that because he likes to drink milkshakes. Okay, and I'm gonna skip through. I haven't watched the whole thing. I just got the beginning part when I downloaded it. But I think he drinks two of them. Yeah, that's Umar. He starts talking at some point. We'll start there. Here we go.
The cream queenism.
I don't know why he's doing all this mount stuff. I don't know what that means. What's that all about?
Peace and Pan Africanism. To my butter almond queens, my butter pecan queens.
There he go.
My cinnamon queens, my mahogany queens, my cherry wood queens.
I love you, boo. That's what Umar said. That's what Umar said one time. That was so ridiculous. I love you, boo. All right. Thanks, Tiffany Tappity. How's it going, JCSU? Except that yellow alien smack did something to Umar. Yeah, that's just a story. Another one of Umar's stories. He has so many different stories, including the story about the yellow alien that punched him in the nose when he was a child. I'm telling you, Umar, he has some stories. That's for sure. That alien story was wild. Thank you, Jay Civic. Got a little princess says, and he won't call me back. Yeah. He sounded like he actually talking like he was in a relationship with, and someone didn't call him back. But that's not how it works. There would be no way that one person would be able to manage, 80, 100, 150 people calling them and then expecting phone calls back. Everything is you just go on the website, you call the phone, the number. It's probably automated. That's probably what it is. Because I didn't actually call. I could check, but it's probably automated. It's probably you just run through the prompts to schedule. Or they would have a human answer. I mean, it couldn't even be AI, but they could have a human answer, and they just said, "Okay, well, when do you want to schedule?" And they'll take down your information and you schedule. I mean, I would think it probably takes 2 minutes or something like that. But the point I want to make is that Umar, he acts like this is something where you're having a dialogue back and forth. That's not how it works because that's not efficient at all, and that's not how the city works either. There are people who think they're supposed to get special attention, but that's not how the process works. Because if the one individual gave everyone that attention, nothing would ever get done. Okay. Anyway, thank you, Gazo Princess. Randy sent in 10 jewels. It says press F. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but okay. Thank you, Randy. And then user 225 says screen has Umar Johnson's fantasy, 2 Lenons at I don't know. All right. Okay. Let's keep going. Thank you. Here we go.
My lemonade queens, my buttercream queens, my butterscotch queen, my pina colada.
Did he say buttercream? I don't remember hearing him say that one. Did anyone ever hear him say buttercream?
Bada queens, my African lemonade queens, my deep dark cinnamon queens, my fudge queens, my
He said deep dark. Said what? Deep dark? Okay.
chocolate queens.
Was that what that was? He just popped the pill on camera. I don't know what it was. Let's go back because I have videos of him popping pills, like a gang of them. He would start the live stream. He just kept throwing them back. I should play it for you guys, but let's go back and see because we kind of skipped through that part. Let's see what happens. Yeah, you're right, Kogo. You are abs. I did not catch that. How's it going, Black Anonymous? Yeah, I did not. Sardines in pills. It's probably sardine pills. That's probably what it is. You know, let's go ahead and well, we'll come back to this next week and watch the whole thing. But yeah, that's what he's doing. He popped the pill. I just want to see how many he popping. Yeah, I did not catch that. Okay. We'll watch the whole thing because this is like 5 minutes before. Yeah, he's throwing there. He's gonna throw another one back. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. My goodness. Okay, we'll come back and watch this whole thing next week because he popped at least 4 of them. At least 4 of them. Okay, let's get going here.
Almond queens, my butter pecan queens, my cinnamon queens, my mahogany queens, my cherry wood queens, my lemonade queens, my buttercream queens, my butterscotch queen, my pina colada queens, my African lemonade queens, my deep dark cinnamon queens, my fudge queens, my chocolate queens.
Chocolate.
Peace and Pan Africanism to my continental African
Thanks, Robbie.
queens, my Toronto and my Montreal queens. I love my Jamaican queens. I really enjoyed the energy of my Jamaican queens during the Garvey Day celebration. Looking forward to meeting my Ireland queens in 2 weeks. My London queens, my Brixton queens, my Luton, Wolverhampton, Westminster queens, my Scotland African queens, my Texas queens, my Carolina queens, my Panama queens, my Brazil queens, my Guyana queens, my Suriname
Okay, we get it, Umar. All right.
queens, my Trinidad queens, my dark chocolate, hot chocolate queens.
Hot chocolate.
Shout out to the unapologetically African anti-snow bunny alpha males of Africa. Shout out to the unapologetically African anti-snow bunny African alpha males of the Caribbean. Shout out to the unapologetically African anti-snow bunny alpha males of South America. Shout out to the unapologetically African anti-snow bunny alpha males of Central America. Of North America. My Ethiopian queens, my Sudanese queens, my Malawi queens, with my Ugandan queens. My South African queens, my Enugu state queens, my Ogun state queens, my
Is this all he gonna do?
Shoemake queens, my Lagos queens, my Port Harcourt queens, my Liberia queens. What is the best beach in Africa to throw a Dr. Umar unapologetically African beach party?
Yeah, he just coming up with anything.
What is the best beach in Africa to throw a Dr. Umar unapologetically African beach party in Africa?
Beach party in Africa.
There you go.
For best results, take medicine with milkshakes. No, Umar, he likes milkshakes. That's one of his milkshakes and what's the other one? Ice cream sundaes, like that'd be in a glass. That's kind of like a large glass, but it's similar to a milkshake. Yeah, that's his favorite. so the doctor says, yeah, take 5 of these with a milkshake. Okay. All right, thank you. Black Wolf says freak mode activated. Oh yes, yeah. It looks like he's in fiending mode for the cooch. That's what it sounds like to me. Whenever he starts running off the mouth about the queens this and queens that, that's what this is. Yeah. Thank you, Black Wolf, for the super chat. And then D. Will says, Lenon, remember the video where he started off all depressed, popped a barrage of pills, and started going crazy, spitting all over the place? Yeah. That's what happens. There's times where even I actually think that when Umar did the school announcement video before he did it, I believe that he was popping pills. Because if you watch when he first starts, he's real somber. You know, he's talking like calm. And then as it goes on and on, he gets more and more animated to the point where he starts, at a certain point, he starts coming up with all these different fantasies about what he's going to do. Some of that stuff he had written down, but I think his mind gets going. But I know the video you're talking about. Also, there's a video too when he was out in Cleveland, and he was popping pills before he actually started talking, and he kept popping them over and over again. Okay. So I've seen it many times in the past not many. I've seen it quite a few times with Umar doing it, and then here he is today doing it. He's still doing it. Now, someone could argue that it's health related. Okay, yeah, it probably is. Okay, like if he's doing it in public like this. But there's times where he's live streaming. I've seen him do it, and it's in private. I actually think that he has. I'm gonna tell you. Well, let me leave that. I'm gonna leave it right there. I've talked about this in the past. See, I actually think I'll say it. I think Umar, that he has substance abuse issues of the type that are street drugs, but I also think he has substance abuse issues that are prescribed. You guys know what I'm talking about? Where he gets, and it happens. I mean, it happens to a whole lot of people. You know, it could be pain meds, you know, and they get addicted to it. Michael Jackson had the same issue. Prince had the same issue. So that's what I think with Umar. Okay, that's speculation on my part, but that's what I believe. But to see him do it in a public space is probably just regular old pills that's been prescribed to him. Because he has talked about, you guys remember, it reminds me, D. Will, when Umar was on the Predator Protocol and he was talking to this one lady, and she says she puts together herbs, like healing herbs. And Umar was like, yeah, you can put something together for me. And I'm paraphrasing. She was like, well, for what? And then he kind of, I can't remember what it was, prostate, and so a few other things. So yeah, clearly he has some health issues. And I'm not surprised by that. Because he doesn't, and he's older. He's about to be 52. He's older, and he doesn't take care of himself. Okay, he eats any and everything. He's living in, when he's not living with his mama. He's traveling all the time. That's wear and tear on your body, you know. So that's what I think. It's not uncommon for someone with Umar's at his age and with how he lives his life to have medication. You know, there's people who have lived healthy lives and they have medication. You know, thankfully I don't have anything like that. But you know, as I've gotten older, especially like over the last 3 years, I've kind of worn myself down. You know, but I take care of myself the best that I can. You know, given my situation. Umar, he doesn't, not at all. Okay? Like real quick, I can't even see myself sitting inside of an airport and drinking milkshakes. I can't even see myself do that. And if I did, my body would have a reaction right away because I couldn't do it. You know, smoothie, yeah, I'm drinking a smoothie right now. Okay. Yeah, but I absolutely do remember that. We've talked about this in the past. And that was another video. I haven't been able to find it where he did this a long time ago, but I didn't put the pieces together back then because it was earlier on in my research. Umar, I didn't know much about him. And I remember him popping pills, but I assumed that it was just, just like natural stuff. But it's different nowadays because we've seen how Umar acts. We've seen him high. We've seen Umar when he's fiending. We've seen Umar when he's not high. Okay. We've seen the rock video where he's sitting on the steps and he's fidgeting with the rock. Okay, those types of things. Rest in peace with Brother Manny. Brother Manny, when they were burning something, they said it. They was burning something up in there, and they had lighters and everything. And Umar was like, "Yeah, did you get that? Get the lighters?" And Brother Manny, rest in peace, said, "Yeah, he got all of that." And no disrespect to Brother Manny, but Brother Manny has substance abuse issues. I could tell right away from the beginning. Okay, he's passed on. Much respect to him. He was a good dude from what I saw. He was a good dude, but he had substance abuse issues, and that's why Umar would hang out with him. And that's why I told people a long time ago that these trap banners in Wilmington, Delaware, that Umar calls FDMG, this is just a kicking spot where Umar has people who come through and they blaze up. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. These days, Umar popping pills takes on a different dimension than from what I remember in those earlier days. Okay, thanks, D. Will. MK sent in the super chat, says grifting. Yeah. But Umar getting into the DAFA, that's what people would call a grift. I think people throw that term out a little too much, but it does apply with Umar right here. See, Umar trying to do a shockumentary that was supposed to premiere in 2014, I believe. Or was it 2012? I think it was 2014 when it was supposed to premiere. That was a grift because he saw the success of Hidden Colors and he tried to capitalize off of that. He had no experience with script writing, no experience with organizing a documentary. It's a lot of work. The more people you have, the more work it is and the more expensive it is. No experience with cameras, lighting, audio, video editing. None of that. But he figured, hey, listen, Tariq Nasheed made all this money off of Hidden Colors up to that point. Okay, I could do it too. And so he tried to get into that grift. It didn't work. And the documentary still doesn't, his documentary still doesn't exist. Right? So remember, Tariq Nasheed, he comes up with FBA, and then Umar's, he tries to get into that space with DACA. So it's a grift. DAFA. It's a grift. Okay. Now, will anything come of it? No, because Umar throws out all types of organizations all the time. We could put together a whole list of all different organizations he says that he's created. He says we. It's not we, it's just him. But it's just Umar grifting. He's trying to figure out ways to get into spaces, newer spaces, to get more money out of people, because clearly FDMG, that space ain't working. Okay. It's not what it used to be, and he knows that. Okay. So yeah, in this case, MK, yeah, this is a grift. DAFA is a grift. Okay. Thank you for the super chat. SW4174 sent in a gold coin. Thank you so much. That was from that was a cartoon. I think it was the Batman cartoon from back in the day. I used to watch that. Yeah, I think so, if memory serves me correctly. Thank you. S. Tavada says Enterprise went to FDMG lately. It's still the same. Yeah, it is. It is. Ain't nothing changed up there. We don't even see Umar up there that often. He's been traveling a lot more too lately. Okay, but he don't even bother going up there anymore. He's not serious about that. Okay, he's abandoned the bandos. That's what it comes down to. He abandoned the abandoned buildings. Thanks, Estevadez. Randy sent in 10 jewels and a gold coin. Thank you so much. And then Sim sent in 100 jewels, which is a Sunday. Okay. SW, thank you, Sims. SW says, amazes me still that people still buy into this console. Yeah, this console long. Yeah, it has. It's been a long time. It's been a lot longer than what I thought. I thought that when Umar acquired these abandoned buildings in February of 2019, that he could extend this for 2, 3, maybe 4 years. I think I said 3 or 4 years, but it's 7 years. And you guys, in about 6 months, it's going to be 8 years since he acquired these abandoned buildings. But if we go way back to 2010, we're talking 16 years when he said the school was going to open in 2013. It's been going on for a very long time. And yeah, there are people who still buy into it. You know, I'll propose that most of the people who believed in it back in the day, 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, that they don't buy into it anymore. That's why the money's dried up for Umar with this FDMG school scam. But because he's able to get onto major platforms, that he's always drawing in newer people, and they don't know about the history. They don't know about FDMG. They don't know about the shockumentary, or he's collecting donations for that, never produced that, or the Rules of Romance books that he collected pre-orders for back in 2022, I want to say, might have been 2021, and never produced that book. He still talks about it he talks about it from time to time, that I need to get back to that. Well, you were kept collecting pre-orders for it like 3 or 4 years ago. What are you talking about? So he's had so many different scams, and a lot of people don't know about all of that stuff. Okay, so the newer people who come on board, you know, it sounds nice, but and so it keeps going. But I'll propose that most of the people from back in the day, they're not messing with this FDMG stuff anymore. Okay? And I think Umar knows that. He'll lie and say, you know, they're still supporting. No, that's not the case at all. Okay. Thanks, SW. Okay, and then Sim sent in 2 jewels. It says 100. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, let's get back to that video we were watching, and let's see. I think Umar, he should say something outside of the Queens and all this. Here we go.
What is the best beach in Africa to throw a Dr. Umar unapologetically African beach party in Africa?
He just coming up with anything. Beach party in Africa. Why don't you save that money and open up these trap bandos? Oh, by the way, there is a poll question. What is Umar Johnson's best accomplishment? 43% said 6 degrees. It was actually 5. 11% said 1.3 million Instagram followers. 8% said FDMG acquisition February of 2019. And 38% said 1 million airplane flight miles. And Umar posted that today. I don't know if I actually took a screenshot of it. Let me check. Let me look real quick. But he had posted that he had just become. Yeah, I didn't actually take a screenshot, but it's on his Instagram page that he became a 1 million mile flyer. Okay. That just goes to show you that he's not serious about opening up a school, because you can't be flying a million miles all around the world, and then you're going to be opening up a school and building a school and renovating a school and getting faculty and staff and putting together a curriculum and a business plan and having a board of directors, et cetera. You can't do all that. It's impossible. Furthermore, how is Umar the primary caretaker for his mama while he's traveling a million miles all around the world on airplanes? Just think about Umar. He's kind of stupid. Okay, matter of fact, let me go pull it up. He's kind of stupid because, and his arrogance is part of his undoing, because he thinks it's a flex to be able to say, "Hey, listen, I've racked up a million miles of flight miles, if you will." Yeah, but if you racked up that amount of miles, what does that say about what you're doing? Or deeper still, what you're not doing? Because if that's the main thing that you're doing, because it has to, that's a lot of travel. Well, that also means that you're not handling the business when it comes to FDMG, when it comes to your own mama, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, let me show this to you guys real quick. Umar, he's a trip. Okay. All right, let me pull it up. Yeah, here it is. He posted this earlier today. Million miler status. Hashtag Garveyism. The million miler status is an impressive achievement and one of the most elite milestones reserved for customers who have truly flown millions of miles with us and our partner airlines. Again, a lot of these flights, he's using donation money for FDMG. As a million miler, enjoy annual complimentary medallion status. Okay. A higher priority position for complimentary upgrades and special bag tags. Wow. You're special. Once you achieve million miler status, you will get to select personalized tags to commemorate your status. You're also invited to select from a curated selection of gifts from the million miler gift, whatever. You can't see the rest. Okay, yeah, I'll move the camera over. Then it says it looks like he has 1,002,935 I can't read that right there. I want to say United, but I'm not quite sure. Yeah, actually, I need my other glasses. Let me see if I can see it with these. No, I still can't see that. It's too small. And then on the bottom it says, on the eve of, this is again his arrogance. Okay? On the eve of his own solar return. He likes to write these in a narrative form. He's funny like that. On the eve of his solar return, Prince Fatunde's recent trip to Jamaica has put him over 1 million miles. How fitting to cross the threshold while celebrating the 139th solar return of the greatest Pan Africanist to ever live. On September 18th, Chicago, and October 30th, New York City, the Prince of Pan Africanism celebrates 16 years as King Kong consciousness. Yep. Yeah, and in all fairness, so sometimes they'll pay for flights, but I'll propose that a lot of these flights is coming from donation money for FDMG. So a lot of money has been wasted just on airfare. All right. Okay, let's get back to the main video. Here we go.
Hey, gorgeous.
No, cut it out, Umar. It was probably a man walking by, but you know he got to fake it.
My Cape Verdean queens, my Ghanaian queens, my Cape Coast queens, my Accra queens. I just shouted out my Nigerian queens. Where you been at? You know I love my Nigerian queens, my Togolese queens, my Benin queens, my Gambian queens, my Zambian, my Congolese queens, my Central African Republic queens, my Cameroonian queens, my Bahamian queens, Bermudian queens, Barbadian queens, Haitian queens, Guadeloupe queens, Cayman Island queens, Turks and Caicos queens, my Puerto Rican African queens, my Dominican African queens, my Cuban African queens, my Grenada queens, Brazil queens,
Brazil.
Shout out to the slim thick queens, the petite queens, the voluptuous.
Yeah, here he go. He's in lust mode, freaky frog mode. That's what this is.
Queens, the full figure queens, the light skinned queens, the brown skinned queens.
See? Colorism.
The dark skinned queens, the 5'5" thick in the thigh queens.
Yeah, this is y'all's principle.
My solar return is tomorrow. My solar return is tomorrow.
How we doing, King? How's everything with you, man?
Amazing.
Good to see you, Baba. Good to see you, man.
Hey, you speak?
Yes, sir.
I would love for both of us.
Yes, sir.
I can see.
I know.
Are we fucking, wait a minute, are we the Twilight Zone?
I know.
Like,
I know.
what are you doing?
Too afraid and too comfortable. Too afraid and too comfortable.
And it's like, you're like, yeah, what are you, you're talking about voting.
Yes.
And it's the same fucking
It's the same thing. They run the whole
They
thing.
run the whole thing. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, it's my turn, it's my turn.
Nah.
You've been in the wheel too long.
Nah.
The shit
It's
that
a
they-
facade.
Thank you.
It's a facade. Voting ain't changing nothing. If it could, it'd be illegal, man. It'd be illegal, man.
Exactly.
They do that to make you think you have a say-so.
It's like never let your enemy think he's
Yeah,
no way out.
exactly.
Let him see that.
Exactly.
Hey, over there,
Keep
buddy.
them in the maze, the matrix, tied up. Yes, Bob.
He said the Matrix.
Yes.
It's like you're looking at them and then they get distracted by the stupid shit.
I know.
They're really walking around here like fucking clone zombies.
Yep. Yep.
And I'm like, what
Yeah,
are you
he's
doing?
snorting a lot.
Yep.
He sure is.
Yep.
Shit you ride from the Asians.
Yep.
They don't wear. They don't eat. I see you go to the Asian
They don't eat
restaurant.
nothing they sell you.
No, you go to the Asian restaurant and they have some shit. You're like, yeah, I don't see this on here. No, this is not traditional on here.
Right.
You know?
It's crazy, man. Crazy, man.
Listen.
Hypnotized.
Bro, listen. Keep hitting them.
Yes, sir.
Eventually they gonna break.
They got to break, right? I feel you. I feel you.
They thinking that we're saying, they're like, yeah, they agree with it, they like
Yeah.
it. So I look at them and like, okay, what are you gonna do about it? What
Right.
are you doing about it?
Right, or you just gonna talk about it on the internet all day.
Yeah. You sit there.
Yeah.
Then this delusion.
Yeah.
They want to do the bare minimum.
Yep.
But they want, oh, everybody heard that.
They just running their mouth. They ain't talking about nothing.
What's up, man? I'm going to see you in a minute. You know?
Yes, sir.
And it's like, and you know, it's like, don't you see what they're doing? They create this narrative to distract you, and the whole time,
Right.
He's doing all of that.
Right.
Man got 34
Right.
of them things.
Right.
And you sit there to hell.
Yeah.
How you gonna get me? How you gonna justify?
Yeah.
Discipline me or correct me?
Right.
But he's right there.
Right. Right. Yes, sir. Yes, bro. Appreciate you, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Amen.
Powerful, powerful.
My birthday tomorrow. Y'all better have sent me some birthday gifts.
Here you go.
August 21st, midnight tonight. Haitian Revolution anniversary. Nat Turner War anniversary. George Jackson anniversary.
Yeah, so he tells black people not to spend money on gifts for Christmas, for their kids, and all this other stuff. But he will ask black people to send him gifts. 51, 50, about to be 52. And he ain't getting his kids no Christmas gifts or birthday gifts or nothing. Yeah, this was today, Sir Mosley, not too long ago.
Anniversary. Emmett Till shows up in Money, Mississippi. Fannie Lou Hamer shows up in Atlantic City.
Yeah, Umar, everything with Umar is a command. Okay, he doesn't ask. He doesn't say, "Can you do this for me?" and say, "Do this or do that." Same thing. Instead of saying, "Can you send me birthday gifts?" he said, "You better have." It's like a threat, but it's also a command. That's part of his, his personality disorder. Okay, he's commanding of other people.
For the 1964 Democratic National Convention. Ladies, I want my birthday gifts. All my African queens, I want my...
See, he's not saying, "Can you?" He's saying, I want, I need, give me.
birthday gifts.
Yeah, he's very much a state of arrested development. He's like a little child.
Sister Malika, what you get me for my birthday?
Here you go.
Your birthday is on August 22nd. What time were you born? What time were you born? Was the sun in Leo or was the sun in Virgo? If you're born on August 22nd, 23rd, you got to see if the sun was in Leo or Virgo. I want my birthday gifts.
See?
Send me my birthday gifts. You can have whatever you like. Cut it out, Sister Malika. What do I want for my birthday? I'm gonna get a hug from all my Cincinnati queens today. Cincinnati Africans, I'm gonna see y'all today. Cincinnati, Ohio Africans, I want a birthday hug from all my...
Big tuna. That's what I was saying earlier. I was just playing, but the person that came back to talk to me was a guy. He said, "Hey, gorgeous," but that could have been somebody else. I don't want to, probably a guy walking by. You guys can speculate on that if you want to. Thanks, Big Tuna. Jay Civic says, let's all chip in and hire a cinnamon butterscotch dark Ireland South African butter. What are you talking? I can't even follow this. Let me see. A cinnamon butterscotch dark Ireland, South African, butter pecan, cherrywood, pina colada building inspector. Yeah, you putting it all together, huh? Okay, thanks, Jay Civic. Yeah, it connects everything right there. Okay, and then Marco says, or Marco says, does he realize all his spending can be audited? I don't think I don't think Umar cares. See, he's been at this so long, and he's received millions of dollars. I don't think it even registers in his mind like being financially responsible, or that his Cash App could be audited, or that his PayPal accounts, okay, plural, could be audited, or that his GoFundMe could be audited, and then tracing where the money went from that GoFundMe, or that his bank accounts could be audited. You see, I don't think that that's something that Umar he thinks about, because he's been at this for such a long time. That's the thing I notice about Polite and Nature Boy, because they had gotten away with stuff for such a very long time that they felt invincible. The way that their minds work, they think they're better than everybody else, and they think they're smarter than everybody else. Umar, he's like that too, with the narcissism. So what happens with these types of individuals is they feel like they're invincible. They're never going to get caught. You know, they can keep doing what they're doing, and they just escalate over time. But at a certain point, they get caught, and then they're brought back down, right, to earth, if you will. So I think with Umar, because he's been at this for such a long time, and he hasn't faced, at least publicly that we've seen, extreme consequences, okay, because that could be money laundering, tax evasion, something to that effect, where he's indicted and then he's convicted. He faces jail time, or he's on probation. So he hasn't had to face that quite yet. Okay, and I'll say quite yet because you never know. So he feels invincible. So he doesn't care. He'll get online. You know, he'll spend money. He'll gamble. Okay, you see the arrogance right there. He feels he's invincible. He ain't got no. He don't got no job. He don't got a legitimate business. So where's that money coming from? Well, it's FDMG donation money, right? Dashikis, you rarely see him in the same clothes. Okay, that's money he likes to shop. That's money that's coming out of FDMG donations. He's been doing this for such a long time. I don't even think it registers in his mind anymore. Okay. Thank you, Marco, for the super chat. And then also thanks again, Big Tuna. Miss Honey says, I'm watching Lenon and the Versus at the same time. I don't be watching the Versus. I don't know nothing about, I don't even know what is that on Netflix. I have no idea. Okay. Thanks, Miss Honey. And then Bleach Soda says, thanks. The Bape hoodie next time make it two. What? Next time make it two hoodies, huh? All right. Yeah, that's Umar. Next time make it two hoodies, make it two smoothies, make it two pina coladas. Okay, thanks, Bleach Soda. Keith says, if the chat does research, you would understand why he admires Garvey. He's one in the same. Frederick Douglass called for Garvey deportation. I didn't know that. Is that true? I gotta look that up. Did Frederick Douglass call for Marcus Garvey to be deported? No, it says no. Yeah. Because Marcus Garvey, because Douglass died more than 30 years before Garvey was deported. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that he didn't say it at some point prior to his death, I guess. Yeah, well, that's what it says up here. Yeah, I don't know about that, Keith. I've never heard that. Anyone else? Has anyone ever heard that? I'm trying to phrase this another way to see. Yeah, it says their lives only overlapped for a few years during Garvey's early infancy, and Douglass died long before Garvey rose to prominence. Okay. Yeah, I'd never heard that. That's why I had to look that up. Yeah. I will say this, though, that Frederick Douglass was an integrationist. Garvey was more of a separatist. right? Whereas Garvey was talking about, we're going to be going back to Africa. Okay. Frederick Douglass, that's not what his platform was. He was more like integrationist. And anyway, that's why even with Umar naming the school is contradictory. Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey, because they had different ideologies. But again, Umar's always wanted to be Marcus Garvey, and he thinks he's a descendant of Frederick Douglass. That's why he combines the names. Thanks, Keith. Larry says, man, my wife be asking me what I want for my birthday. I'll be like, shit, I don't know nothing. So I'm lost on better half. I know. Better half when he's nobody's man. Yeah, our anniversary is next Saturday. Congratulations. Anniversary is on next Saturday. I'm finna get her some product cologne just cause. You know what you should do? You should get her some and then put that video on of Umar with the product, because he sprays it all on himself. He had on a white suit. See, that's what I'm saying. Umar tell black people, you guys are spending your money on Prada, you're spending your money on this, you're spending money on that, but he gets it as a gift. And he had on a white suit and he was spraying it on himself. All right. Well, happy anniversary, Larry. Congratulations to you and your wife. That's awesome. Okay, thank you for the super chat. Also, thanks, Keith. Bleach Soda. TJ says, classic narcissist, attention-seeking, and no hit. Yeah. Umar will use anything to get attention. Okay, that could be his birthday. That could be Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey, going to grave sites. He doesn't really go to grave sites like he used to, because we used to clown him about it all the time. So he stopped. He should have never been doing that anyway. But that's just, he's attention seeking. You guys remember when he used to go to grave sites? He used to go to grave sites a lot and just be out there yelling and acting a fool. Well, that's just attention seeking. And he would live stream it. Now, if you want to go because you want to pay respect, that's one thing. But if you go just because you want to get attention and you want to live stream it for, I mean, that's sick to me. He used to do that a lot. He don't do it. He don't do that anymore. We clowned him, okay, a lot, and he stopped doing it. Thanks, TJ. Larry also says, also my snow queen just called Umar Johnson lower than poo. She don't even go here, and she knows. Yeah, well, listen. Anyone who has any sense, they don't have to follow Umar, watch Umar videos. They can just catch a couple of things here and there, and they'll know right away that he's a full of bull. He's bull jive. He's just bull jive. That's what he is. I mean, there's so many things that Umar Johnson has said that's totally outlandish that anyone who is a rational thinking person would be like, okay, this guy, something's not right with this guy. He's a bull jiver, and he is. So the good thing is that she don't have to watch all this foolishness. Okay, like, at this point we have to keep, we got to keep track of this. The foolishness has been going on for such a long time, and it's being archived. Thank you, Larry. Keith also says, Lenon searched Garvey letters to the KKK. Yeah, someone brought that up back in the day, and I didn't believe that, and I looked it up, and yeah, because I think he met with them one time too. Yeah, they met with them in ideological alignment over racial separatism rather than a formal correspondence for alliance of letters. So, because the KKK, they were separatists, meaning racial separatists, and that's what they were fighting for, if you want to say fighting for. And Marcus Garvey, he was also a separatist, racial separatist. Okay? But for him anyway, that's way out there. I know he lost a lot of support from black people when he did that, because I watched a documentary about him and they talked about that. Yeah, when I first heard that, I was like, no way. But no, you're right. Okay. And anyone else? Did anyone else know that? Well, I'll tell you. Thanks, Keith. Okay, let's get back to it. Here we go. Oh, make sure if you're joining the show, hit that like button too. Our goal is 400 likes. Here we go.
Ohio Queens. Good to see you, King. Thanks for the love, man. Thanks for the love.
You spitting all over the place?
My Cleveland, my Youngstown, my Dayton, Ohio. I want to see all my Ohio Queens in Cincinnati today for the Black Firefighters Convention. My birthday not till midnight, my brother, but I appreciate it. I don't like early birthdays because you never know what God has in store for you. So I don't like early birthdays.
What is that supposed to mean? I don't get that.
I don't like early baby showers.
What? Traditionally, don't the baby showers happen before the babies are born? So what are you talking about? Oh, do I got that wrong? It's been a long time from what I remember. So baby showers are early too, Umar. What are you talking about? Maybe I got that wrong. Somebody let me know in the chat. I know, D. Will. See, that goes to show you he don't know nothing. Yeah, exactly, Swagonito. He don't know nothing about that. Baby showers, taking care of babies. All right. That's what I'm saying, Truck 74. All baby showers are early. What is Umar talking about? This guy, let me rewind this. Maybe I heard him wrong. Hold on, because I always try to give him the benefit of the doubt.
God has in store for you. So I don't like early birthdays. I don't like early baby showers.
You guys know doggone well. Umar ain't got no sense. See, I know some people are like, what's funny? It's funny because we've had 5 kids. So, and then we got relatives, gang of kids all over the place. So we know about some baby showers. And the idea of saying that there's an early baby shower, that don't make sense because the baby shower is always going to be early. It comes before the baby's born. Real talk. I mean, people, once they find out that they pregnant, they'll here's the gift registry. And people are like, yeah, because people get excited. You know, I'm looking forward to my kids need to hurry up. I'm getting old, y'all. They need to hurry. I want some grandbabies. I ain't gonna lie about it. And you know, they're taking too long. Anyway, Umar, he's funny. JCSU says Umar Johnson can figure out how to meet up with cinnamon, chocolate, butter, pecan, etc. queens, but can never meet up with building inspectors, is what I meant. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. That's actually deep when you think about it, okay? Because Umar, he's been telling this lie about the building inspector for what, about 6 months now? It's been about a half a year. Let's say 5 months. It's been about 5 months. Okay, let's even give him some grace. Say 4 months. It's been about 4 months. So Umar, he can't figure out a way to get this building inspection process started since February, because that's when he said that renovations were completed this time around. March, April, May, June, July, August. So it's been about 5 months, a little over 5 months. He hasn't been able to figure out how to get that, but he can figure out how to meet up with these women, whether that's in Jamaica or in Cincinnati now, or wherever he goes after this. That's actually deep because it goes to show you where Umar's party. Well, clearly though, the story about the certificate of occupancy and the immigrant, the Jamaican immigrant, that's a fabrication. It's a lie. But even still, Umar hasn't gotten that process started, and it is a process. But he can find these women to run through though. It goes to show you where his priorities are. There's no excuse for that. See, if the way isn't clear, then you find a way to clear the way, or you find another way to get to your destination. See, but Umar, he's so focused on crushing cookies. That's why even in this video, he starts off, he's pina colada, all this hot fudge and all this type of talk. That's because he's being a freaky frog. What is the 7? We talked about this yesterday. The 7 deadly sins. One is I can't remember what it was, but that's what this is with Umar. Just lustful. He's lustful. So he can figure out ways to satisfy this lust, but he can't figure out a way to get the building inspections done. And he's been sitting on these trap banners since 2019. Okay, there's no excuse for that. Thank you, Jay Civic. Keith also says, dang, we should have revoked his passport. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this though. There are times, Keith, where Umar, his passport, he has to go and get it. What is the word? Reinstated. Okay, there's another term I just can't think of it right now. And he's talked about this in the past because there's been times where he stated, yeah, we need to go to Africa because stuff is getting bad here in the United States of America. So men, make sure you go and pay your child support. Why would you have to say something like that? Well, that's Umar projecting. See what that, and he's had his license, his driver's license revoked. That's the word, revoked many times. Not many times. He's 3 or 4 times. Okay, because he doesn't pay child support on time. Okay, so yeah, it's extremely likely that he's had his passport revoked. That's why he made that statement that if you got to go leave the country, make sure that you go and pay your child support. Why would you have to go pay your child support to leave the country unless you're in the arrears and your passport has been suspended due to non-payment? Yeah. Thanks, Keith. Okay, where are we at here? Okay, we're right at the end. Let's see what he says.
Got to make sure God's plan actually is what you think it is. You never had these many events back to back. You must never follow me back in 2015. You must never follow me back in 2016 and 17.
That was his heyday.
In 2021 and 2022 and 2023. I lived out of a suitcase.
Yeah, and that's correct with the timeline. His heyday though was 2014, 15, 16, in and around there, but then he started falling off after that. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is from today. Umar, he's heading to Cincinnati. Let's go to the Jamaica stuff. So I want to start off with this. I don't think he says anything in this video, but I just want to play it just so we get through it and I can cross it off the list. This is him backstage. He's supposed to be speaking, and he's just staring at the camera. And I actually think I'm gonna use this video for the documentary. And just slow it down. Like the speed of it. Yeah, I don't think he says anything. I just think he's just looking at the camera, looking at the comments. This may be part of him dealing with anxiety. He'll go online because he wants to feel connected to people. Yeah, he really has. He's deteriorated. I mean, there's normal aging, and we've all gone through that, of course. But this video is from, what was this? This was about a little less than a week ago. But if we go back to, let's just go back to when he made the school announcement video from February of 2019. Let me see here. Yeah, here it is right here. So just 7 years ago. Yeah, man, it's actually kind of sad. But again, we were talking about this earlier. We gotta live right, and we gotta treat ourselves right too. And as we get older, we gotta take better, because I've had to deal with that too. I haven't talked a lot about that, but I told you all, like, my doctor said I needed to lose weight and I needed to exercise and make some dietary changes. And I've been doing everything except exercise. He also said I need to sleep consistently, like 8 hours. I haven't done that consistently in it's been over 3 years. But that's something I'm working towards, the sleep part and the exercise part. But we got to take better care of ourselves. But his lifestyle, and it's not just physically, but also how he lives his life and treats people, mean-spirited, angry, deceptive, deceiving people, lying, cheating, scamming, all that stuff, running through all these women. It takes a major toll. And he's paying the price for sure. So this video, again, this is video right here we're watching. This is from 2019, just 7 years ago. And then here he is a couple of days ago. The other thing I want to mention too with Umar is that if we took this picture and we used, let's say, AI to gray out his hair, that would be what Umar actually looks like. You guys understand what I'm saying? There's been times, I remember the Kobe Bryant rant in particular, where you can tell Umar, he was in a really bad state. He hadn't been taking care of himself. It looked like he had been binging on drugs for days. Looked like he hadn't slept for days. Horrible. Horrible. We call it the Kobe Bryant rant. You can see in that video how it's grayed out. I mean, when I say grayed, it's all the way grayed out. His beard. And I would assume his hair too, like on top of his head. So that's another thing that you can clearly see the deterioration here from 2019 to current. But we also have to put in, or at least consider that the fact that all this would be gray. So like I was saying earlier, karma's undefeated, and we always have to pay a price. And Umar, he's paid the price to a certain degree. But in terms of the school scam and scamming people and all this stuff, he still has some serious karma that he has to deal with that. Okay. All right. So I just want to show this just so I can scratch it off the list. This was him backstage. He was going to be speaking when he was out there in Jamaica. Let's go to August 15th of 2026. If you're enjoying the show, make sure you hit that like button. Okay. I can't stress that enough. It only takes about 2 seconds, but it makes a huge difference. The numbers are down with Umar right now, but it's all the way across the board. I've looked at other people who've been covering Umar, and it's just way down. He's not trending in the algorithm, and that happens from time to time. But who knows? He may never recover, and we'll see. So what is Umar Johnson's best accomplishment? 42% said 6 degrees, which is actually 5. 11% said 1.3 million Instagram followers, which is a great achievement. That's 11%. 8% said FDMG acquisition February 2019. I'm surprised that it's so low right there. I actually am. I thought it would be higher, but a person could argue, yeah, but he just took money that people gave him, and he just spent it on these abandoned buildings. And here we are, 7.5 years later, and not one black child has been educated. So is that really accomplishment? No, not really. So I can see that. Right. And then 39% said 1 million airplane flights. I messed that up. It should be 1 million airplane flight miles. I apologize for the typo. 39%. Make sure you vote on the poll and hit that like button if you're enjoying the show. Okay. All right. And then Miss Honey says, Lennon, can you play the video of the young girl going up to FDMG? A young girl going up to FDMG? I don't remember a young girl, Miss Honey. I do not remember a young girl. Anyone remember a young girl going up to FDMG? What does she do? Give a tour? I'm thinking about that. A young girl going up to FDMG. I don't think I've ever seen that one. Did we ever cover that? Anyone in the chat room, you guys remember that? Let me know. Yeah, I'm actually intrigued. She was drunk. Oh, that's not a young, that wasn't a young girl. If you're talking about who I'm thinking about, who James, is James in here? Yeah, James is in here because he just sent in a James, what was that? Because you had just told me about that. What's that lady's name? That was last year. Hold on a second. If that's what you're talking about, because it was her birthday or something. I was thinking about that today because James had emailed me, and the person's name that he said in the email, it was the same as this lady. I don't know if it's that's what he was talking about. Let me see here right quick. Was that was last year? Yeah, because she's the one I think that got the munition and the other munition off of the wall at FDMG and gave it to Umar. Yeah, I think her name is Malika. Let me see if it comes up. No, that's not her. That's another lady. What was that lady's name? Yeah, it was her birth. Oh, yeah, there it is. Shout out to Dr. Nene. Dr. Nene be on it. Okay, it's not coming up though. Man, what was that? Let's see. Okay, let me do it this way. I'm gonna go. I'll just have to scroll through because I know I have it because I was thinking about that today. Yeah. Her name was Ashley. Yeah, part of her name is coming up, but not the video that we want. Actually, let me see real quick. Because here, let me put this on and then I'll see if I can find that other one.
Look, God getting check this out.
Yeah, this is her right here.
Look, God getting the gate put up around this motherfucker. Oh, he is not playing. He is not playing with y'all. He is not playing. All right, doctor. Wait, too. I can even turn the damn thing around. These folks working. They working. So that man ain't got no words. I don't know. Okay, FDMG. I'm talking working real tools. There ain't no shade tree tools either.
She's a character too. She got a history too. Thinks he was.
He mad at me. I'm so mad at my business.
Caught up in some
Look at him.
criminal activity.
Why you doing that?
Cute. They probably think I'm with the bullshit. Look, that's what's up though. Okay, FDMG.
Okay. I'm trying to find that video. I know I have it. I'm looking through right now because that was 2025. That wasn't this year. And I'm looking through. If I can't find it right now, we'll play the next video and then I'll keep looking. But I remember that. I because when you said a young girl, I was like, what? And then, but no, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, here go. Yep. So this is when the munition. All right. Yeah, but I don't see her video. And I have it because I think I saw it recently. No, you know, I know where I have it at. Yeah, I know where I have it. Hold on one second. Because I had it inside this other folder. Hold on, let me just scroll through all the way down to the bottom just so that I can say, okay, I can check this off of my list. Okay, I'm at the bottom now. Okay. Yeah, I think I remember where I put it. Hold on one second. In the meantime, let me pull this up. I don't know why this popped up here.
Baby mamas, no home and no vehicle, but he spends donation money on hotels and rentals while there's no school after a decade.
The ideas and move forward together.
Damn you, Lenon!
Okay.
Meet Grifty Tiffany, the newest drop from the King Kong Consciousness line. 2 hairstyles, knee-high combat boots, and a shirt that loves Umar almost as much as she loves speaking her mind.
Let me tell you something, sister. These haters been working overtime on my downfall, and I'm still here, sharper than a brand new edge up. They whisper their little conspiracies, but I see the strings, I see the puppet masters, and I pull receipts.
Grifty Tiffany, part of the King Kong Consciousness line. Other dolls and playsets sold.
Introducing King Kong Consciousness, the doll with wisdom and a whole lot of style.
He speaks 3 iconic quotes. Hit the CashApp. FDMG is coming next year. We're the Butter Pecan Queens. With a phone gin bottle.
He even comes with a bunny and zebra cake.
Introducing the LenonHonor talking figure, your very own pint-sized stream.
Shout out to Coco. I forgot about these. There's a whole bunch of them. I'll play some more of them later on. I could not find the video. I could not find it, and I know I have it. Okay. So this is just an AI version mock-up of what Umar would look like if he didn't dye his beard hair. And I think this is actually, I think this is accurate. This is what he would look like. Well, this is what he looks like right now. But if he dyed his beard, it would look like this. I mean, if he didn't dye his beard. Yeah. Sometimes I feel bad for the guy, but on the other hand, you know, that's life. There's always consequences. You know, even me reporting on Umar, I've had to deal with stuff. You know, it's just there's good, there's bad. We have a good time. You know, you guys bless me, but I've had to deal with a lot of foolishness over these many years. You know, but that's life. You know, you make a decision, you go, you go, and you have to deal with the consequences. They're going to be good consequences, going to be bad consequences. This is how life works. You know. But Umar, his karma is undefeated, and he's done so many people dirty, and the way that he lives his life, I had hoped that he would figure it out by now. I really did, you know. And I'm not coming from a place of a high horse either, because I've struggled myself. And over the last decade, I've done everything in my power to put myself in a better position, put my wife in a better position, put my children in a better position. Still not where I would like to be, and I say that humbly, but I'm living proof that we can get things turned around and get back on the right path. Umar, he ain't figured it out yet, and he's supposed to be the most requested scholar. He should have some sort of anyway. I go on and on. Yeah, I'm gonna keep looking for that video, Miss Honey. I know the video you're talking about. Maybe I have it archived. Maybe was that 2026? No, I don't think it was 2020. I thought it was 2025. Yeah, and I actually think she's the one that filmed. No, I think she's well. Anyway, yeah, I'll keep looking. Thank you for the super chat, Miss Honey. I know the video you're talking about though. Dean says the inspector should have sent Umar a DM on LG on IG and asked to join the movement. Umar would then meet up. No, but the thing is that and you know this. I know you're joking, but that's not the inspector's job. Is not to give Umar some sort of special treatment, because the inspector has who knows 50, 100 different inspections that they have to do during the month. So if they took the time to answer, return people's phone calls and voicemails and go out to take a look, to ask, to tell them what else they need, that's not even their job. They're there to inspect. The person's job it is to give Umar advice on what needs to be repaired is the general contractor. The general contractor would have resources too. He can direct them to other people, electricians, plumbers, or what, and they can come and Umar would have to pay them to say, okay, this is what you need to do to get this up the code, and so forth and so on. That's how that would work. But the general contractor should know most of that. And if he doesn't, he can just make phone calls to get the information he needs, relay that to Umar, and then Umar, he would go through the process of whatever needs to get fixed before the inspection. He would get it fixed. But see, Umar, he that goes to show you he doesn't know what he's doing. He never knew what he was doing. In fact, and you know this, James. You guys remember the video where Umar, he was looking at this extremely dilapidated building, and it was a gym, and the wooden floors. It looked like a horror movie. Let me pull it up. I want to show you guys what I mean. See, it's crazy because in 2026, Umar, it's clear that Umar doesn't know what he's doing in 2026, but it's also clear that he never knew what he was doing. What year would that be? That would be, I want to say 2015. Let me see here. This going to take a minute. And then I still got to find, no, that's not 2015. Let's start 2016. I still got to find that video with that woman in it, because I remember it sounded like she was drunk and had her stuff the legs all out. I said, what in the world is going on? Okay, I'm looking in 2016. No, it's not 2000. I thought it was 2016. Yeah. Yeah, look at this, right? Let me let this play, and I'm going to go look for it. Here, check this out.
Peace and love, black families. The Prince of Pan Africanism, Dr. Umar Johnson, live and direct, South Africa. About to head on over to the Market Theater for tonight's presentation. I wanted to just talk a little bit briefly, if I could, about behavior modification, because I've been getting a lot of emails and questions from black parents asking what they can do to address misbehavior in their children without medication. So I just want to spend a few minutes discussing this before I head on over to tonight's lecture here
at the
Market
tight.
Theater in Johannesburg. Number one, first thing black parents need to understand is that all behaviors only exist because you allow them. Let me say that again. All behaviors only exist because you allow them. Your child is only doing what they have been allowed to do. And the reason why it is difficult to modify
that's not true. That goes to show you he ain't ever raised no kids.
The behavior is because it has become a habit. You have allowed your child to engage in the same repetitive behavior day after day, hour after hour, minute after minute, second after second. All behavior is a consequence of the context where it takes place and the consequences that follow. All behavior is a function of where it takes place and the consequences that follow. That is to say that no behavior ever stands still. I need you all to understand this, especially
my African parents in America. You really, more than anybody else, need to understand this, because the American African.
All right, here's the video. So, like I was saying, James, Umar, he didn't know what he doesn't still know what he's doing now when it comes to certificate of occupancy, getting renovation completed, getting stuff up to code. But let's go back in time. He didn't know, he never knew. Let's go back to 2017. My goodness, it's like almost 9 years ago. Watch this.
I didn't even know the floor could come up in this. But that's a different type of floor, though. Wow.
See, why would he even be going into something like this? It's crazy. Look at this. Okay. I mean, you wouldn't even bother going to go look at something like this. Okay. But that's not the point I want to make, even though it is part of the point. Just goes to show you he never had a plan. He don't know what he's doing. And he's just floundering around. See, going to do this kind of stuff, it would make people want to send him more money. And he learned that early on, and he kept doing it all the way up to February 2019 when he acquired these abandoned buildings in Wilmington, Delaware. But watch what happens next. Listen to the conversation.
Wow. They keep in here. These must be closets. Locker rooms. Yep.
I ain't never seen a joke like this.
Oh, James said, I didn't catch the joke. Mia, the caregiver, we covered that. Was it last week? Yeah, I think it was last week. Mia, the young lady. Mia, the caregiver, sent Umar a DM asking to join the movement. Okay, I got you, James. I got you now. It said the inspector should have sent Umar a DM on IG and asked to join the movement. Umar like, yeah, let's go ahead and schedule this then. Okay, I got you.
Wow.
You can hear it.
Was there any leaks in Higginbotham?
There might be small
ones. Nothing major. Nothing major.
I see one wet spot when we went in.
Okay.
Yeah, like I was telling him, you might need to do a little bit of repair on the roof.
Right.
But I walked through that building with somebody who was inspecting it structurally, and he said the roof was pretty good.
He said it was pretty good.
He said you wouldn't need to do a lot of work on it.
Now let me ask you, that person there who checked it out structurally, what is he called? Like, what is?
See, he doesn't even know what the professional title would be of an individual who would come out to do inspections to see what needs to be fixed, that type of thing. This is in 2017, and he still doesn't know in 2026, because clearly how he's talking about the process of getting a certificate of occupancy, it proves that he doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, that's telling in and of itself. You don't think that after 9 years, Umar, he would be in a position, he should be in a position after 9 years to be educated enough to know what the process is, know who are the people to talk to. The building inspector is not the person to talk to. It would be the general contractor, but Umar doesn't have a general contractor. You guys see my point? Listen again.
He said the roof was pretty good.
Wet spot when we went in.
Okay.
Yeah, like I was telling him, you might need to do a little bit of repair on the roof.
Right.
But I walked through that building with somebody who was inspecting it structurally, and he said the roof was pretty good.
He said it was pretty good.
See, someone who was inspecting it structurally.
He said you wouldn't need to do a lot of work on it.
Now let me ask you, that person there who checked it out structurally, what is he called? Like, what is his?
Wow. That's crazy. 2017.
His professional type. That is a what? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I know everyone, I always just call them contractors.
I got you.
But
I got you.
I call that like for an electrician or plumber.
I got you.
Boy, it's just such a waste. Just see me walking through there. But he showed this in many other bandos, and people would get excited and they would send him money. See, now he doesn't travel around doing that anymore because he has these abandoned buildings in Wilmington, Delaware. But he'll go up there and have the buildings behind him and stand out there. It gives the same effect. People still will send him money. It's ridiculous. Okay, thanks, James. What was the lady's name again? I forgot what the lady's, because I was looking for the email. Is that it? No, that's not it. I can't remember what the lady's name is now. James, can you let me know? The one that went up there and she was drunk. You're the one who sent me it. Okay. Because I want to find it before we get up out of here. Okay. Did I get to all the super chats? Let me just check real quick. Okay. And then Big Tuna says 100% drug use. I agree. You can see it. Yeah. Well, I've covered this for many years. There's a video. I don't have the full video. I have it somewhere. I just haven't been able to find it. Hopefully, I'll find it before I finish up with the full documentary on Umar. But in the first documentary that I did, it's not as extensive, but it took a lot of work. I showed a clip where Umar, he's talking with someone. He's laying in the hotel room. He's laying in the bed talking with someone, doing like a black parent training or teleconference or whatever it's called. And he tells the lady, no, I don't think no, I can't remember if I don't think he's laying in bed. I think he's sitting at a table. But he tells the lady, hold on a second. I'm paraphrasing. I need to go turn the heat down. And the idea is that he's going to go turn down the heat in the room. He's going to the thermostat. But that's not what happens. Umar, he goes slightly off the screen, and you hear him take a big sniff of something. He goes, and then he comes back. Okay, he hit a line. That's what he did. You know, and I don't know what it was, but it could have been something that was prescribed. He just breaks it up, put it in line, and he takes a sniff. Right. And there's other examples too of Umar. He has substance abuse issues. A lot of this money that people have sent him for FDMG, he's used it for his substance abuse. He has quite a few different addictions: food, sex, gambling, drugs. It's a serious problem. That's what I'm saying. If Umar didn't have all these vices, he could have found a way to get something started right now, but most of the money has gone towards his vices. And then there's people who think that he's some sort of a great black leader, or he's a school psychologist or a principal. No. There's no way. Thanks, Big Tuna. Gazo Princess says, Umar turning into Baba David. No, he's not. Don't do that. he got a while to go. But if he didn't dye his beard, he would look a lot older than what he looks. You know, and I figured if I dyed my beard, I'd probably look younger than what I look too. I guess. I don't know. I ain't never thought to do nothing like that. But Umar, he does it because he wants to look younger, because he wants to put himself in a position to where he can prey upon these younger ladies. And we have records of that, okay? Including the young lady that took care of his mama, and she alleged that they were intimate, and she was 23 at the time, if I remember certainly correctly. Umar would have been 48, maybe 49 at the time. Let's say 48. That's diabolical. Who does that? See, so that's why he tries to he tries to look as young and as youthful as possible, because he targets these younger ladies. I call it the predator protocol. And I have proof of it. Okay. I have receipts that prove it to be true. Okay. Thanks, Gazo Princess. Quiet Surface says, hey, Lenon, can you make a Google spreadsheet of videos you're needing and the the reward amount? I guess I could do something like that. There's only a few videos that I really wish I had. One would be when Jamal Johnson came out and admitted, he did in video format, because he actually did it he posted, I have the screenshot of that. But he actually did it in video format where he admits that they're not related to Frederick Douglass. I wish I had that video. And if someone happens to find it, you send it to me, I'll cash app you or PayPal you $100. Since I haven't been able to find the video where Umar takes the snort, I have it somewhere. It's probably on an old hard drive. I don't know how many old hard drives I have. It's got to be close to 20 of them. Yeah, it's probably about 20 of them. And I would have to go through all of them because I don't have them marked properly. But anyway, the video where Umar, we were talking about, he goes to turn the heat down. He says, I'm going to go turn the heat down. That video. The video, and if someone found that, I would cash app them or PayPal them $100. If from a long time ago, where Umar was saying that they're going to teach the boys. No, he was actually saying the girls how to fly helicopters. I think he was saying the girls. And that when their parents come to the school, come to visit their children, because it was going to be a boarding school, the parents fly in to the airport, and then they wait there. Their child will pick them up in a helicopter. I guess you would call it the FDMG helicopter, and then fly the parent to the school. And I guess that means that the school would have a helipad. I don't have that video. If someone found that one, I would cash app them or PayPal them $100. There's other ones too, but those are the ones that come off the top of my head. Yeah. Yeah, that's what comes off the top of my head. Yeah, I could do it, but I could do a spreadsheet, but I'll just say that for now. Okay, thank you, Quiet Cypher. Keith says he looks like Clubber Lang after losing to Rocky. I don't even know who that is. Clubber Lang. Oh, you're talking about Mr. T. Yeah, if you said Mr. T, I would know exactly who you're talking about. Is he still? He's still alive, isn't he? Yeah, I think he's still alive. Mr. T. Let me see. Yeah, he's 74. I thought he was a lot older than that. He's 74. Yeah. All right. He was big time back in the day. Yep. One of the early actors that I can remember that was black back in the day. I mean, there was black actors, but that was one of the early ones that I can remember, you know. Thanks, Keith. U225 says the inspector is actually 225 with a Jamaican accent. Okay, all right, you holding him up. You're the one sabotaging Umar. That makes sense. Okay, thank you, User225. If you're enjoying the show, hit that like button, everybody. Enterprise says people that believe him on this inspector nonsense, this inspector nonsense are mentally challenged. The list of NCC inspectors is online. None are Jamaican, and no ISP are done. No inspections are done. Okay, yeah. So I looked at the list, and I didn't see anyone who was of Jamaican descent. That's not what I saw. Umar, again, he just randomly, he just picks. He could have said something else. He could have said, this is it's all diabolical, but Umar could have said that it was a white inspector, and I think that would probably be more believable, especially to his audience. But for him to throw Jamaicans under the bus, I just think that's just thoroughly, it's just ridiculous. There's people from Jamaica that's donated to Umar. Why would you do something like that? That's horrible. It's a lie, but why do you got to throw Jamaicans under the bus and immigrants under the bus? That's crazy. And then the school is named after Marcus Garvey, who's from Jamaica. That just goes to show you, Umar, he's something wrong with him. Out of all the things he could have said, that would have probably made more sense, at least to the Umar Johnson followers who ain't thinking right, don't ask critical questions. He's gonna say that it's a Jamaican immigrant? Just crazy. And you're right. I looked and I could not find a so-called Jamaican immigrant or inspector of Jamaican descent who said, I couldn't find any of that because they have the people's names listed there. And then, inspections are not done. Umar knows that. Renovations aren't done. That's why he doesn't want to start the process of inspection, because he knows it's going to fail. So what does he do? Instead of holding himself accountable, he continues to perpetuate the lie to get money out of people, because people are like, yeah, he's making progress. He continues to tell the lie, but then he stalls. It's a stalling tactic, which he's been doing since February of 2019. It's always something with this guy. Shop Enterprise, thank you, bro. Pierre's Land says, I might have to pay on Lenon's behalf if someone finds the nuclear weapons Kwanzaa video. Nah, there's no video of nuclear weapons. Is there a video where he's talking about nuclear weapons on Kwanzaa? Nah, I've never heard that one. But you know what I think about? I'm like, well, maybe, it sounds like something Umar would say. The one thing Umar would say about Kwanzaa, he would always say that he's going to do 7 days of Kwanzaa. And then at a certain point, he said once he got these trap banners, he said he was going to have it at FDMG 7 days of Kwanzaa. He never had no 7 days of Kwanzaa, like some sort of an event. That's not what that was. Okay? He's never done that. Okay? Now, there's been times during Kwanzaa you see him in his mama closet live streaming, but that's not what he was promising. 7 days of Kwanzaa was supposed to be this big event. Okay. Yeah. No, I know Afro Punk check out. Now I'm thinking, I'm wondering now, did he do a video talking about nuclear weapons? See, that's the thing. If you follow the Umar Johnson saga long enough, stuff like this, you'd be like, hey, wait a minute. Did he say? Yeah, I think he did say. No, I don't remember that one. Okay. Thank you up here for the super chat. Someone said, how did you know that they weren't Jamaican? Well, it's easy because if I have a person's name, especially if they work in, all I need is a person's name, phone number, address. I can get their address, I can get their phone number, just with their name. But the thing is that they have the names listed, and I know how to do research to get information. Okay? And no one that I saw on there was of Jamaican heritage or anything like that. Okay. I know how to do my research. It's not just what you can find online, but there are all, what I mean by that you can search online without saying too much, but there's also ways of getting information about people, subscription-based services where you can get information on people. And then you can also track who their children or who their parents are, who their parents are, so forth and so on. So no, Umar, he's making that up. He's making that up, and it's horrible because it would have made more sense for him to say that it was a white person, or he could have said anything. He could have said that it was an Asian person, because it fits more in line with his narrative, but he chose, for whatever reason, and I still don't get it. He chose a Jamaican immigrant out of all things. That's what he decided he went with. It's just diabolical. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Thanks up here. U225 also says Umar did don't know. I can't read that. Beta G inspected. All right. All right. How do you know that? He's a 225 from the islands. Now we understand why he'd be throwing me under the bus all the time. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, thank you. Okay. All right. Let me look under that. Thank you, James. Yeah. Oh, no. I have her name wrong. That's why. Because I was looking up. Yeah, there she is right here. Okay. Yeah. Now I see. Because I had gotten the name that. Okay. So if let me see here. Yeah, it'll come up now if I search for, because I was looking for her legal name, and I have one video under that, but if I look under, no, it's not coming up. See, because I have a folder. What was her? Okay. Let me, because I have a folder. Let me see something. The folder comes up. Yeah, here it is right here. Yeah, so it should be in this folder. Yeah, here it is. Here it is right here. Well, this is a screenshot though. That's not the video. Did I download the video? I had to have downloaded the video because we played it. Or I might have gone on. No, here. Is that it? No, here it is right here. Okay. Yeah, see, I didn't archive it properly. So let me archive this now. So next time I can pull it up. This goes to show the type of women that Umar, he surrounds himself with. It's a problem. He's a problem too, though. Yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go right here. So I think it was, who was asking for this earlier? Was it Queendom? Oh no, it was Miss Honey. Miss Honey. So yeah, here it is right here. This is the lady that went up there. This was 2025, right? Let me put this in the 2025 folder because I have a separate folder for her. Okay. Here we go.
You can pull off with your bitch ass, stinking ass, ratchet ass, straight from Wilmington, never been nowhere ass, puss ass, stink ass, dick sucking ass homegirl. Now look at that. Look at that. Sad to see that. Sad.
Someone had knocked over the Ring camera and she was mad about it. But she seemed like she was drunk. Yeah, this is one of the women Umar be dealing with. She's from Alabama, but I think he got her to move out there to Wilmington, I believe. This right here is from 2017.
Talking. TM 13's John Papke.
Ashley Henderson grew up in Brighton. Her grandmother served on the city council here. A year ago, Ashley followed in her footsteps. She was elected despite a 2015 shoplifting arrest in Homewood.
At the time, I was pregnant with my second son, Gage, and, going through what women go through. And I went and I got some stuff for my baby. I wanted to take him to Oak Mountain Park, and I got him some swim stuff.
The case was still pending when the judge ordered her to appear in court a few weeks ago.
Henderson says right now Brighton is down 4 police officers, and she claims there was a city council meeting scheduled to debate hiring more officers on the same night as her hearing in the shoplifting case.
I didn't want to miss my council meeting. I didn't need to miss the court date, but the council meeting prolonged longer than I expected, and just missed it and just caught up with me. It's mistakes.
After skipping the hearing, Homewood police issued a warrant for her arrest. When she was pulled over in Hueytown last week, Henderson was taken to jail. We asked why voters should still trust her.
My constituents, my people that I have individual relationships with, my family members, they all know who I am, what I represent. I've done silly things. Who hasn't?
Silly mistakes which led to multiple arrests. Henderson hopes her behavior does not handicap her city's future. In Brighton, John Papke, WVTM 13.
You can pull off with your bitch ass, stinking ass, ratchet ass, straight from Wilmington, never been nowhere ass, puss ass, stink ass, dick sucking ass homegirl. Now look at that. Look at that. Sad to see it. Sad.
All right, we'll leave that one right there. I don't know how to call that one. All right. Thanks, James. Okay, I got it. Yeah. James sent me the direct link. That was on her birthday. Yeah, and she says on here that she was drunk at the time. She said she went up to FDMG to fix the school because what the F are we doing? Why was the intercom broken? For months. It takes a village. Okay. Man, this is wild. Okay. Where are we at? Let me get to these super chats. What's up? Is that DD? Yeah, DD, how's it going? I ain't seen it in a minute. Hope you're doing all right. Okay, let's see here. Radar for Umar said, I sent you an email. Yeah, I got it. Let me look right quick. Hold on a second. Oh yeah, I have this. I'm talking about the whole thing. Yeah, this is yeah, this is on Black Anonymous. Yeah, I know about this one. Hold on one second. But yeah, Radar for Army, send me your I'll send you something. Send me your CashApp or PayPal. But yeah, this is on Black Anonymous's page. Yeah, I'll play it too. But I'm looking for like the whole video. But I'll send you something. Yeah, hold on. Let me play this for you guys. This is the video that we were talking about earlier. I have this in the first documentary. Here it is right here. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, here we go right here.
Brown hair paradise, brown lashes. Where you at?
Hold on, let me get up. I'm coming. Let me get up. Wait a minute.
All right, take your time. Take your time.
Yeah, I have this one. See him? See how he gets up? Listen carefully.
My baby was sleeping in the bed. Gotta go way off to the kitchen.
Understood.
How you doing, brother?
How you doing, Queen? Where you at in the world?
All right. Now, there's one of the things you can look for, because Umar, this isn't an isolated incident. Notice how when he comes back, if you look at how he's doing like this. I've seen Umar do that when he's on some stuff or when he's doing stuff. So watch this, check this out.
All right, take your time. Take your time. Let me turn this heat down.
My baby was sleeping in the bed. Gotta go way off to the kitchen.
Understood.
How you doing, brother?
How you doing, Queen? Where you at in the world?
Yeah. So this is the video that I was referring to, but I want the whole full thing because I have this segment. I have it in the documentary. But Raman, send me your Cash App or your PayPal. I'll send you a little something. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat as well. And then a lady says, what kind of Pan African leader can't work with this? See, that's the thing. It goes against what it means to be a Pan African. See, he should be able to work with everybody. And he shouldn't be divisive like that. Okay, this person is Jamaican. This person is an immigrant. This person is from Europe, but they're black, right? Or they're African. No, it's supposed to be all inclusive. But the only reason why Umar brings up Dafa, descendants of African freedmen in America, is because he's trying to set up the lie that he tells later on down the line. And he chooses, for whatever reason, Jamaican immigrants as the person who's sabotaging him. It's not true. None of that's true. But if he's a Pan-Africanist leader, he should be able to work with anyone, right? And he shouldn't be divisive either, right? But it goes to show you that Umar will be divisive if it fits his narrative, if it fits his need to manipulate people and lie about FDMG, that somehow he's being sabotaged. And out of all people, he says by a Jamaican immigrant. That's crazy. Thanks, lady. Miss Honey says, James, can you send Lenon the video? Okay, yeah, this is, I got it. I showed it. Okay, that's this one right here. Yeah, when you said young lady, I thought it was like a younger person, but no, you're talking about this lady right here. She's not she's not young. I'll tell you that right now. Okay. Okay. Thank you again, Miss Honey, for the super chats. And then Miss Honey also says, thank you, Lenon and James, for the video. Y'all be having some funny videos. Y'all make a great team. Yeah, a lot of these, I've said it many times, but a lot of these live streams, like over the last, I would say probably like year, a little over a year, we wouldn't even have had them. Not all of them, but some of them significant. We wouldn't even have them if it wasn't for James, because he'd be sending me stuff. Okay. He be sending me some of the stuff he sent me. I'm like, well, I had no idea about this. And then he knows too, like I'll say, well, do you remember, if I'm looking for something, you remember that video such and such? And then he'll say, let me go see it. And then he'll email me back and have a link to it or whatever. So yeah, that's the homie right there. Okay, thanks, Miss Honey. Okay, we're gonna go for another 15 minutes. So let's wow, did we even get into the Jamaica video? No, we didn't. No. Well, let's start with at least one. Let's get to this one. It's like 20 minutes. So let's get to this one. And then next week we'll get to some more, because this will be a series. Because we got to at least get through one of them. My goodness. Okay. Thanks for all of the super chats. Thanks, Miss Honey. Thanks everyone who sent the super chats. Thanks to Rated R for Robin for sending me a link to that clip. I appreciate it. I'll send you a little something. U225 says 225 can stop. Now I'm telling you that just I wouldn't even. Okay. Let's see. So let's go to the first video from, where is this at? Boy, I got so much stuff up here. Hold on one second. Yeah, make sure you hit the like button if you're enjoying the show. This it? Yeah, here it is right here. Okay. So this is Umar when he's over in Jamaica. He's being interviewed. This is from in and around August 15th. So about 5 days ago, 2026. Here we go.
Cambridge is a very elite university, and they could not afford for him to expose other professors doing the same thing he did, but yet not being fired as well. Because those of us who live in the Americas, we don't live in countries. Very clear what that means.
I've heard about what has happened to Jason Hardy at Cambridge, and I wondered if you had even a small comment on it.
Yes, I do. I suspect, and I don't have any proof on this, but because of the timing, you always have to follow timing when you look at assassinations and
Okay, this isn't an assassination. This is Umar. He's going to get into conspiracy theories. That's what he's going to do here.
Executions. He was just let go.
It's not execution either.
Allegedly accused of plagiarism, and then he's found deceased. I suspect that he was going to expose other professors who were guilty.
You see, I already know where Umar is going with this. He's going to say that he was assassinated, and the reason why they assassinated him because he was going to expose these other professors. There's no evidence of that whatsoever. Umar's a conspiracy theorist.
At Cambridge of doing the exact same thing that they chose to expel him for. That's what I suspect, and I believe it would have sent shockwaves through the UK community and throughout the world, because Cambridge is a very elite university, and they could not afford for him to expose other professors doing the same thing he did, but yet not being fired as well.
We have heard about, well, professors, not necessarily, well, at Cambridge and elsewhere, but they don't seem to have come under the same kind of scrutiny and attack from the media as this young man. I
Absolutely.
mean,
Absolutely.
It was like a witch hunt. It was really terrible. I mean, you know, it's the whole, I mean, I'm just like in shock about this. But I was talking to someone from Cambridge last week, and both of us said he's fragile emotionally. He's autistic. He's fragile. And we were just hoping that he would stay strong and that he would have enough support to keep him. But unfortunately, look at what has happened. I will be listening out for further commentary of a long year line of reasoning, you know, because a very interesting line of reasoning. But stay on the line. We'll be back with you in reparation conversations. I want to ask you some things about what's happening in the US on that, okay?
Sure.
So we go to a break, soon come back.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with Talking History. If you're just joining us, my guest online is Dr. Umar Ifatunde. Some of you might know him as Dr. Umar Johnson, a Pan Africanist. And we also have Professor Vereen Shepherd streaming in live from Geneva. So thank you for staying with us. We go over now into Reparations Corner. And before we get into reparations on your side of the world, Dr. Umar, I wanted to ask this question. The Caribbean seems to have a different culture, especially Black Caribbean families. We have a different culture, and I think there are some differences between what you might see on the North American continent versus what you might see in the Caribbean. What then inspires you to keep coming back to Jamaica each time you're invited?
A lady says, the Cookie Crush chat taught me all I know about booger sugar. Yeah. That's Umar. As you watch enough Umar videos, you'll learn about that real quick. Thank you, lady.
I'm a Pan Africanist, in my humble opinion, as the most requested Black public speaking scholar in the world. I think
here he goes. That's a narcissism. Okay, he's not a scholar. Not at all.
I think we tend to exaggerate the differences between communities. I've been all throughout the Caribbean, and although there might be some nuanced differences, pretty much it's the same situation globally wherever I go. And with that being said, I think that, you know, we as African people have to start cooperating and collaborating with each other across regions, particularly the descendants of the slave trade, the children of the transatlantic slave trade, you know, from Boston to Bahamas, you know, from Jamaica to New York. I think there needs to be greater collaboration. We are far too divided, and we should be further along in terms of self-sufficiency, independence, progress, and even with the reparations fight. I think we could be so much further along if we would just work together and stop highlighting differences as opposed to commonalities.
Right. Stop wasting time.
Isn't that interesting? You see how much of a hypocrite Umar is? He says, don't highlight differences, but he did exactly that about this Jamaican inspector who's sabotaging him, an immigrant. See, here's the thing. There's no good reason for Umar to even suggest the identity or the heritage of the alleged, it's a lie, but the alleged building inspector who's sabotaging him. It's not necessary. He could have just said Black. But no, he specifically says a Jamaican immigrant. But he contradicts himself here, though, because he's saying we're not supposed to be doing that because we're all an African family, right? You see the point? That's why it's important. It was important for me to show the videos from earlier.
Along in terms of self-sufficiency, independence, progress, and even with the reparations fight. I think we could be so much further along if we would just work together and stop highlighting differences as opposed to commonalities.
Right. Stop wasting time on diaspora wars. Prof, over to you.
Yeah, Umar, he's such a hypocrite. Ms. Honey said, Lenon, if you don't mind sharing, what's your opinion on Jason Arday death? Well, he unalived himself. Okay, I think Umar's trying to present it as if he was assassinated, but that's just Umar getting into conspiracy theories. From what I understand, Arday was under scrutiny for plagiarism. Do I think he plagiarized? I actually think he did. Okay. If he didn't, then the scrutiny is it's unnecessary. It shouldn't have happened. And if he didn't plagiarize, then he should just filed suit against the people who were making these allegations. See? I also think, based upon his backstory, the backstory that he shared has shared with people, I think that he's an exaggerator. That he exaggerates a lot of his accomplishments and his struggles in life, and what he went through. And there are people who do that because, for whatever reason, they get sympathy from other people. They look at their story and it's inspirational, and they're like, "Oh wow, we want to have this person around. This person is a great inspiration. They can, they want other people to hear this story." But from what I've learned, there are aspects of his backstory that are simply not true. So this to say that I think that Arday had mental issues, and I think that he would lie about things, lie about accomplishments, lie about achievements, lie about his backstory. And that's why it kind of leads me to think that he probably lied about the plagiarism aspect too. There's one other thing too I thought about. There are certain people who they tell stories to get sympathy out of people because, like Umar, they feel as if they're a perpetual victim, and they feel as if they're like a martyr, and then the ego gets out of control, and they just have this very high view of themselves. And there are people who will take themselves out like in what they call a blaze of glory, because it fulfills this sense that they're a martyr. Okay, and I'm not saying that that's what happened with him, but based upon some of the stuff I've learned about him and his personality type, I'll say it that way, that I have a sense that mentally there's a lot that's involved in this. It's not just that there was just the pressure that led him to this. I also think that there was an aspect of his personality type that always wanted to be like this martyr type, like Umar. Umar wants to be like the martyr type. Okay, I know this is controversial to say, but you ask, and it's my honest opinion, and it's just my opinion. Okay, thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I remember there was something about, he said that something about a marathon. Let me see this. Let me see if it comes up. Yeah, it's not, what I'm thinking about is not coming up. Yeah, anyway, those are my thoughts, okay? And those are just my opinions. All right, thank you, Ms. Honey. Anton sent Sentendrey sent the gold coin. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay. Yeah, and rest in peace. Yeah, absolutely, rest in peace. It's sad. It is. It's a sad situation. Miss Honey also says, I agree, Lenon. He did plagiarize and exaggerate, but I feel he could have rolled with the punches as far as social media attacking him instead of unaliving himself. They wouldn't have attacked him forever. Yes, I agree. The media cycles, especially on social media, they don't last that long. And he could have. Well, I can't say that he could have. I think because I don't know. Like I said, there's mental issues here too. I don't think that it was the end of the world type of a situation. But if you have someone who wants to be perceived as a martyr and perpetual victim, Umar's the same way. I wouldn't say that Umar would do something like that, but Umar he's the same way in that He wants to be perceived as a martyr, and then to go out in a blaze of glory. Because I know it sounds backwards, right? But that's kind of how I have a feeling, and this is just my opinion, that was part of the unaliving aspect of this. Now, social media can be brutal, and it could lead people to unaliving themselves. But in this case, let me just say it this way: if he had the proper support network, I would think that he would have been able to weather the storm and get through it, and then come out on the other side and keep it moving. Okay. Now he may have lost his position. Okay, that could have happened, or it would have made it maybe impacted his ability to get jobs in the future. That may have happened too. It was probably likely, especially with the plagiarism accusations. But I don't think that it was the end of the world type of thing. But again, I can't speak on what someone else would do or should do, because mental health is a real issue for all of us. And some people, they can deal with certain things and they can get through it. The next person, the next man, the next woman, they deal with the same situation and they can't get through it, and it lead to the ultimate tragedy, if that makes sense. I'm trying to be careful what I'm saying here. It's just unfortunate all the way across the board. It really is. Okay, thank you, Miss Honey. All right. Yeah, we want to get to this video though. So let's finish this up. We probably got about maybe another 15 minutes on this one. So I'll try to limit my commentary. Okay, thank you everyone for all the support. Thank you for all the super chats, and make sure you hit that like button if you're enjoying the show. Okay, here we go.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. We are one people, and we should try to actualize that philosophy rather than keeping raising differences. But Dr. Umar, since we're in reparation corner, I have to tell you that what is going on right now in my meetings in Geneva, working with one of my colleagues from Liberia, and started by Gay McDougall from the US, is general recommendation on reparations. That's what we're working on now. The UN has come late to the table on this, in my view, and certainly the committee on which I sit has come late. I've been trying to push them towards this from 2016, but nobody was listening to me. But now, on the committee, we have a majority of African people. And so we have now insisted that we cannot ignore the whole international debate on reparations. And so we are now working on adopting a general recommendation.
I just noticed Umar with his hat, the picture they had with his hat. Why is it all cocked to the side? Did they put the hat on top of him? Is the hat photoshopped onto Umar? Or did he have his hat like
on reparations? If it is GR40, because we have elaborated and adopted so many general recommendations on specific themes that we can, cover all the time in our meetings. So I'm very excited, and I'm helping my colleague from Liberia to finish what Gay started, since she's no longer on the committee. But I want to ask you, based on current political environment in the USA that we all know about, how alive is the reparations movement in the USA?
Well, there are several reparations groups in America. Of course, the oldest is NCOBRA, the National Coalition of Blacks for Reparations in America.
That's right.
But there are, in fact, different fronts. And of course, I've been following the development of reparations on the continent, the most recent conference in Ghana and the declarations that came out of that. One of the biggest concerns.
I was there. I was in Accra, and I was on the president of Ghana's technical team to develop the resolution. So I'm very proud of that.
I don't think the host likes this lady.
Yes, ma'am. One of the things that we are concerned about in the Americas, and I'm speaking for North, Central, and South America, from Boston to Brazil, is there was no direct demand for reparations for the descendants of enslaved Africans, particularly in the Americas. So that is one of the weaknesses in that platform. I see a demand for reparations for slavery, but there is no demand for reparations to the descendants of the enslaved in America. And that is something that must be added to that list.
GR40 definitely has the descendants, because we're living with the legacies, and those of us over here, we're living with the legacies. So people of African descent is very much a part of the general recommendation that we're developing.
Yes, but let me clarify, Queen. Let me clarify. It's different. It needs to be specified. And why? because those of us who live in the Americas, we don't live in countries with African governments. So when you say descendants of slaves, that clearly translates without
No, I don't
question.
use slaves. I don't use slaves, please. And I never use slaves. We were enslaved.
The descendants of the enslaved African, okay?
Okay, good.
That it is very clear. It is very clear what that means in the Caribbean. It's very clear what that means in Africa. It's not very clear what that means in the Americas. It needs to be specified out for those of us who do not live under the benefit of African government. So the Caribbean governments are black ran. On the continent, they're black ran. But there is nothing specific about American Africans who are the descendants of the enslaved Africans in the Americas. That needs to be specifically stated because it's not there.
Yes.
And the concern
I'm
is...
making a note of that.
Please do, because the concern is from Boston to Brazil is that we're being left out of the conversation in a meaningful way.
What do you know about Dr. Ron Daniels? And well, there's the 12th of December movement, which I know, and then there is NARC, National African American Reparation Committee, and then there's ADOS. Do these work together? I know the ADOS seems to be, on the right-wing side of everybody else. That is the African Descendants of Slavery, I think it's called.
Well, I'm familiar. The leader of ADOS, she's not a Pan-Africanist in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I know that for a fact. The other organizations, I am not too sure about their infrastructure, but my concern for many of the reparations fronts in America, not all of them, but many of them, they're ran by black boots.
Here you go. He always got to talk negative. See what I'm saying? Why has he never held a telethon with his celeb friends? Because he don't have no celebrity friends. He don't have no celebrity friends. He wants to be a celebrity, but he don't have no celebrity friends. See, Umar thinks he's so big. His ego is so out of control. He thinks he's so big time. That's why he says things like, I saved millions of black people around the world. You can't quantify that. He's just making stuff up. But he wants to be on that level. He wants to be a social media influencer, social media celebrity. Right? But he's not on celebrity level like that. He's just a social media influencer. That's all. And most people see him, like, especially the young generation, they see him like a clown figure more than anything else. They don't take him seriously. So that's why you don't see Umar with celebrities and they're actually helping him with FDMG or helping him get a project off the ground or doing something in the community. You don't see that with Umar. Have we ever seen that with Umar? Where Umar and a celebrity, a black celebrity, work together to do something for the community or a community event or help to get I haven't seen anyone in the chat room. I can't think of anything. So yeah, he don't have celebrity friends. Okay, that's just a statement of fact. Now he'll go on Nick Cannon, but that's not a friendship. Okay, that's just Nick Cannon gets him on, he gets a lot of views, and that's it. But with the amount of money that Nick Cannon has, how much money y'all think he's donated to FDMG? And if he has donated a substantial amount of money, shouldn't FDMG be done by now? And when I say substantial, I mean for his pocketbook, okay? Because it's all relative. Yeah, I can't think of any celebrities that Umar has worked with to actually get something done. Yeah, and he begged too much too. That's enough. Yeah. He got the Breakfast Club. But the thing is, at the Breakfast Club, they have him on for views. They're not supporting Umar like that. They're not donating tens of thousands of dollars, to help fund FDMG. They're not doing that because they know that it's a scam. They know that. Okay, but they'll have him on because it gets views. All right. Okay, let's go.
For many of the reparations fronts in America, not all of them, but many of them, they're ran by black bourgeoisies who are not authentic Pan-Africanists, but are often opportunists. And I'm not speaking particularly about any one organization.
I get that.
Yes, but I don't like the energy of the leadership. It speaks to more opportunism than genuine Pan-Africanism.
Yeah, this is him taking shots at like Tariq Nasheed and Yvette Carnell.
The professor, what's the name of the professor again? I've completely forgotten. I know I met him some years and years ago, who is running ADOS. I can't remember his name. But my understanding is that he's saying that the only people in the United States who deserve reparation would be those born in it's not Caribbean, in other words, immigrants, who are there, even if
Right.
they are black and so on, they don't come under
Well,
the rubric of
I
ADA.
think the argument there, not to speak with them because it's not my position, but I think the argument there is every other community in the world is fighting for reparations for themselves. And so if every community of African people in the world is fighting for reparations for themselves, then the American African needs to focus exclusively on themselves because no one is necessarily advocating for us. So I do understand the argument that if someone is getting reparations from their native country and then they come to America and then they siphon off of reparations from the American African family, that would be unfair. So I do understand the argument. My focus, though, coming from a Marcus Garvey Pan-Africanist perspective, is that there needs to be some integration of reparations platforms internationally and transnationally. There needs to be more integration, because if there is not integration in the reparations movement, then the former colonial powers will very easily be able to play the different reparations movements off of one another. So, for example, if Jamaica is asking for a certain, or CARICOM is asking for a certain list of demands for reparations, if it contradicts what Africa is asking for, or if it contradicts what Black America is asking for, then they can use that as a weapon of division to undermine the entire agenda. So there must be collaboration.
Very good point. Very good point. And I think
Umar, he's so divisive, though. That's why he's such a hypocrite. He's so divisive.
I think that's why CARICOM tries to always integrate reparation activists from the US. No, it might not be the ones that you would think that we should be talking to. So you should let me know off air. You can tell Sandra can write it down for me from somewhere over here. But
ma'am, you shouldn't be asking Umar for advice because he's divisive. All he does is talk bad about Black people. So he's not a good source for that type of information.
She's going to be in Jamaica when you are there. I won't be, but to have a face-to-face discussion with you about this, so that at the international levels where I operate, I can ensure that this kind of sentiment is conveyed. Because you're absolutely right. I before we wrap, though, I wonder if the resolution from Ghana was trying somehow to do that. Do you see any Pan-African intention from this resolution? I don't know if you have had a chance.
Enterprise says, this is how you know he about to say some statistical BS. He might. We're going to see. This is this, not all, but some, avoiding blanket and definitive statements to sound smart. Yeah. We're going to see. Umar, he will do that. He will start. And I'm not saying that all the statistics that Umar brings up that they're incorrect. But what I'm saying is that most of the time when Umar, he quotes statistics and we fact check him on it, he's wrong, which leads me to believe that he just makes them up on the spot. That's another reason why I know that Umar is not a scholar. Because even if what a scholar would do, not only will they have the proper statistics, but they will also be able to source. They'll actually give credit to the person or the study or a book or whatever. They would give that information too. Umar doesn't do that because oftentimes he makes it up anyway. And then oftentimes when he does give legitimate statistics, he doesn't quote anyone. He doesn't give credit to anyone who did the study or came up with that statistic. Okay, but that's Umar. We're gonna see. Let's see what he does. Let's see.
To actually look at it.
See, have we lost him, David?
The transatlantic slave trade as a crime against the worst crime against humanity. He came.
You're back. We lost you for a little while. So
I'm sorry.
You heard my question?
Yes, I did. I did. I did.
Okay.
Right after President John Mahama left the United Nations in March, after that historic resolution that identified the transatlantic slave trade as the worst crime against humanity, he came to Philadelphia. He actually came to my neighborhood of North Philadelphia, Temple University, and I had a chance to hear him. So I'm familiar with the resolution. But once again, the concern from Pan-Africanists in the Americas, from Boston to Brazil, was that he articulated a demand for reparations for the countries from which we were stolen, but he did not necessarily articulate a demand for reparations from the descendants of the enslaved Africans in the Americas, from Boston to Brazil. So once again, that has to be formally articulated. And I also wanted to say, good sister, Queen Mother, I need to be at those tables. So whatever I need to do to come to those events, because as the most popular Pan-Africanist in the West.
See, this is just him begging. I have to be out. I need you to bring me out. See, he's supposed to be the most requested, but all he do is request.
And I have the voice of my people. And as the most traveled Pan-Africanist in the world, I need to be there to articulate the sentiment coming from the grassroots. And so I would like to speak with you.
Yeah, Umar's not grassroots. Okay, he's a bum from Philly, living in Mama Closet.
Further about this, because we have to get it right. We have to get it right. And everyone must be included, not just Africa and the Caribbean. Everyone.
Yes. Okay. Well, it's interesting that he would have been in the United States at I think Charles Jallow was invited to. There was a panel discussion the day before, at which quite a few people from the United States, from universities in the United States.
But it's not just good to have the universities, Queen Mother. No disrespect to them, but many of our scholars are black bourgeoisies. You need the grassroots scholars. You need the voice of.
You see how divisive he is and how he talks so poorly about black people. Umar got 6 degrees allegedly. He has 5, and he says 6, but somehow he's not bougie. He's sassy and he's bougie. Let me stop.
The people on the bottom, that is Dr. Umar Ifatunde. I must be there.
I hear you. And
they don't represent the masses. They do not represent the people.
No, I know that. That's why in Jamaica we try to ensure that our reparation movement involves grassroots people, Rastafari, the communities, students. We have published books for the children. So it's very simple language so that they can understand. So we are trying that joined up movement of which you speak. But I have enjoyed this conversation with you. I hope one day
I have one question for him before we wrap up.
Thanks, Enterprise.
Sure.
Okay,
sure.
Well, go ahead.
Well, two, because one is of further benefit to him. So my last question to you here, in terms of this conversation, you keep hinting at this division and weakness that will only weaken even further our cause. Do you think any of this can be attributed to a lack of history education?
Some of it could, but it supersedes that, in that no matter how much I know about my history, if I have been infected with that disease of tribalism and individualism and self-hate and collective disintegration,
he's so negative.
It doesn't matter how much I know about my history. I will still be a weapon of the imperialist and the colonizer against my people. Many of those who are sowing the division in the diaspora with these diaspora wars, and everybody's guilty, by the way. There's
Yeah, but see, Umar, he's so divisive. He shouldn't be talking.
Guilty parties in America. There's guilty parties in the Caribbean. There's guilty parties in Africa. There's guilty parties in Europe. You find many of them are very well educated on the history. They are not ignorant of the history, but for some reason, they see an advantage for them personally to sow division amongst the different branches of Africans throughout the world.
Okay. Well, as a history educator, I don't totally agree with you, but I can see through some of what you say. My last question.
The thing is, if we don't even have compulsory history education in our schools at all levels,
right?
I mean, not even the little things that they could perhaps grasp will be grasped, and they're not going to read history outside of the classroom.
Yes, ma'am. But also keep in mind, if I think I'm better than you, I don't care how much history you teach me, this is an attitude problem. It's an attitude problem. It's not an ignorance problem. And so we have that narcissism that Europeans have infected African people.
See, but Umar's the narcissist. He doesn't like to be challenged. That's why he's bringing up narcissism, but he's really talking about himself.
Where we will dismiss other Africans because they don't belong to our tribe. You see it in Africa. You see it throughout the Caribbean. You see it in America. It is everywhere.
Yes.
So I'm not dismissing history, ladies. I'm not.
No, we don't think you are. We don't think you are.
History alone don't solve this. We have to raise
we're not saying that, but I'm thinking that you're taking your perspective is largely coming from a psychological and a sociological viewpoint. And I'm saying with the absence of history in the classrooms, your job might be even more difficult. So I think we're actually complementary is what I'm saying.
Yes, I don't disagree with it at all. I'm just simply saying, in other words, there are people who will argue if you teach white people black history, racism will disappear. Racism ain't got nothing to do with white people's ignorance of black history. Racism is about control and power. So if I am a tribalist, if I am a narcissist, even if I know history, that is not going to stop me from sowing division amongst.
Yeah, but see, Umar he's a tribalist. He's also a narcissist. So what is he saying?
Remember our children in the Caribbean,
right?
We need to give them some kind of grounding about themselves so they can help to fight.
Well, that's globally.
It's not much different. It's globally, Prof. Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
That's not just the Caribbean.
Yeah,
that's
it's
African
globally.
children everywhere.
Right, I agree
because
with
most African children in the world are still taught on a European paradigm.
I agree with him.
Most of our babies are still taught on a European paradigm.
I agree with him.
Okay, it's not most of our, because you don't take care of your kids. We almost done.
Fighting against that by trying to have a different kind of narrative, but we have to. I don't think we're winning. We're not winning the battle, unfortunately. Anyway,
we have more work to do. We have to go to a break. We have more work to do, Dr. Umar, and I do agree with you. Finally, as we wrap, I want to know, how can we keep up with you to find out where you will be speaking, how we can see you again?
Yes, indeed. People can follow me on Instagram at Dr.
Yeah, you're right, Afrocentric woman. He can't be complimentary. He has to argue. There is no common ground with personality types like this. You're right. It's a personality type. And he has to be right. It's his way or the highway. Okay, he's very black and white in these regards.
Umar Johnson on Patreon at Dr. Umar. And if they need to reach me by phone,
He's still doing the Patreon? I thought he gave that up. I wonder how many Patreon subscribers he has.
My number is public. It has been for 21 years.
Okay.
And that is +1 215 989 9858 +1 215 989 9858. And my email is princeofpanafricanism@gmail.com. Prince of Pan-Africanism. We spell Africa with a K, not a C.
Yes.
Prince of Pan-Africanism@gmail.com.
So we start with you
Absolutely.
on Instagram and we'll find you from there.
And I will be in touch with you because there's a large reparation conference coming up, and I want to ensure that you are there.
Please give me the dates. Please give me the dates so I do not give them away. Please text me the dates.
All right.
Yes.
See how desperate he is? He's supposed to be the most requested, but he always begging to try to get people to bring him out.
I will. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies. Very good conversation.
Thank
I
you for
love my
taking the
sisters.
time.
Love Jamaica. Can't wait to get there.
Thank you for taking the time to be with us today.
Indeed. Blessed love.
So when we come back, we'll have Vereen.
All right. Okay, we'll pick up with part 2 on Monday, unless something else happens over the weekend. I just found this video too. It's short, and I haven't listened to it or anything. Let's see what this is about.
Here, we've been hearing about this for a decade. FDMG, the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. We got Toussaint Louverture. I guess that's Nat Turner. The Honorable Dr. Umar Johnson. His uncle or cousin, 12 times removed, Frederick Douglass, and Marcus Mosiah Garvey. We're in Delaware, the first state in the United States, and the school has been erected. Let's go. The power is on, the water is on, the lights are on, the grass needs to be trimmed. Whoever wants to come donate their landscaping services to the grass here, we need you to come on down, come on, brother, to Wilmington, Delaware, and donate your landscaping. And we don't want any snow buddies cutting the grass. Only foundational black, no, anybody from the diaspora. So if we got some Senegalese grass cutters, some Sierra Leonese grass cutters, some Jamaican lawnmowers, we need you over here to trim it. But other than that, we must uplift the brother and support the brother. I want to make a donation myself, so hit the Cash App. Make sure you find the brother's Cash App. Come get the sign, son. We had to see it for ourselves. Congratulations to Dr. Umar Johnson. The sign is up, the power is on, the water is on, the high school is next, but right here, we have the elementary. Come on down and donate. I think he got all the permits done, and this August, this September, they're gonna be open to educate our young black boys and prepare them to live in America, $500,000 day.
All right, there you have it. I don't know if he's a supporter or a critic. He might be both. All right. Thank you guys again for tuning on in. I hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't. Thanks to everyone who sent in super chats, or if you sent in super stickers, or if you sent in gifts. Thank you for your support as always. Let me close. Did I close out the poll? I don't think I closed the poll out. Let me make sure before we get up. No, I didn't. So the poll question for today was, what is Umar Johnson's best accomplishment? 39% said his 6 degrees. He actually has 5. 13% said 1.3 million Instagram followers. 9% said FDMG acquisition February of 2019. And 40% wins with 1 million airplane flight miles. Okay, thanks to everyone who voted on the poll. All right. Okay, we'll be back next week with another live stream. Shout out to the mods for handling the business, and also thanks to everyone for tuning on in to the show. Okay, and as we always do,
with my message. Thank you, Sister Avanti, $10 coming on the Cash App. Thank you, sister. Next time, make it 20, but thank you for that 10. I know you barely had that. Thank you, sister.
Yeah.
All right, shout out to Black Mario.
Good brothers. Good sisters. I appreciate that $10 donation. I really do. But next time, make it 20.
Next time, make it 20.
She came up smiling after the program was through. Said, brother, here's $10, I'm supporting you. I looked at the queen and I nodded my head.
You're welcome.
Said, thank you, sister, then this is what I said.
Next time, make it 20.
Times are hard, I understand.
What's up, East B? Thank you for tuning in.
Dreams this big take more than hope. We're trying to build, not barely cope.
Thanks,
Everybody
Crystal.
saying we not risking flat tires. We not selling water ices. We building institutions, family.
With the 22 days. Yeah, good night, Key-Locker. Salute, James.
We not selling water ices. We building institutions, family. Next time, make it 20. If the blessings come your way, I appreciate the 10. But here's what I gotta say. Next time, make it 20. Let the whole congregation see.
No, that's wild. Next time, make it 20.
We building institutions, family. Hey.
Everyone have a good weekend.
People asking questions every single day.
That's Mike Nice.
How you gonna
You're welcome, Liz. Thanks for tuning in.
Pay?
Appreciate you.
I say one donation, one dream at a time. Everybody pitching in to help us climb. This ain't about quick fixes. This ain't about little gimmicks. Trying to leave something standing tall for the next generation and all. We not discing flat tires.
Yeah, thanks, lady.
Not selling water ices. We building institutions, family. Oh, we not discing flat tires. We not selling water ices. We building institutions, family. Next time, make it 20. If the blessings come your way, I appreciate the 10. But here's what I gotta say. Next time, make it 20. Let the whole congregation see. We not fisking flat tires. We building institutions, family. Institution builders. Yeah. Institution builders. Yeah. What we doing? We're building institutions, family. What we not doing? We not fisking flat tires. What else? Ooh. We not not selling water ices. One more time. One more time. We doing it. We building institutions, family. Now everybody clap your hands.
Oh yeah, let me check.
We not fisking flat tires. Right side sing. Right side sing. Everybody together. We building institutions.
Steve Jones is mowing the roof.
Next time make it 20. When prosperity
yeah, that roof thing was crazy.
I appreciate the 10, and I appreciate you too. Yeah. Next time make it 20. That's the message for today. Yeah. We building institutions, family, and we're doing it all the way. We not fisking flat tires. We not selling water ices. We building institutions, family.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I just haven't had time to match anything up.
We not selling water ices.
I mean, there's really good songs.
We building institutions, family.
Especially, I like that the Snow Bunny one. The Black Queens Forever, Snow Bunny Never. Yeah.
20.
Yeah, when I get some time, I'll put some more of these together. So thank you, sir. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Shout out to Black Morrow. Thank you guys again for tuning on in. We'll be back next week. Please enjoy the rest of you. And then also, let's see, Queendom said, hi, how are you? I'm doing good. I'm just tired. I got to get some sleep. Can you generate a photographic timeline of his appearance change? Yeah, I could. I can. It shouldn't take too long. So, well, actually it would, but I can get that done at some point. So photographic timeline of Umar appearance. Yeah, I would probably start in 2005 when he was actually a school psychologist, and then skip up to 2010 and then bring it to the present. Okay, yeah, when I get some time, I'll put that together. Thanks so much, Queen, for being a member. Again, thanks everyone for all of your support. Okay, I hope you all enjoyed the show, and please enjoy the rest of you and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Okay, I'll talk to y'all very, very soon. Love y'all. Take care. Peace.